We're live.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Community Clash. I'm your host, Torx. We have with us tonight Knox, one of our casters.
Hello, guys.
We have Mr. Derringer here.
Good evening, everybody.
As you heard already, we have Hamma, our wonderful producer of the show.
Good evening, everyone.
We have Jenny Boo. She'll be joining the chat room and talking with all of you wonderful audience.
Plus being at one of the observer camps.
And plus being on the observer camps. And we also have Lou Perza, the Wizard of Oz of SOE, here with us tonight.
Hello.
That being said, for those of you that have not seen what Community Clash is before, Community Clash is a PlanetSide 2 cast that pits outfits against each other for entertainment, enjoyment, and bragging rights. We have a couple new things going on this week if you've watched before in previous weeks. This is our first 48v48 Community Clash. And also, it's our first 4-outfit Community Clash. So it should be a blast watching this. That being said, let's introduce our 4 outfits for the evening. First off, we have TXR, Total Recoil.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
We have MERC, or Mercenaries, with us tonight.
Hey, glad to be here.
We have NNG, or No Nonsense Gaming.
Hey, how you guys doing?
And last but definitely not least, we have TGWW, the Great White Whales.
Hey.
We also have a new rules set for you this week. The rule set is much more simplified than we've used in previous weeks. To be overly simplistic, in general, every 1-point base capture is worth 1 point. Every 3-point base is worth 2 points for its capture. And Warpgate Alpha and Omega are worth, or Nexus Alpha and Omega are both worth 2 points if they are captured. That is our point system in general. Nothing else much to it. With that being said, let's get into our base summary for the night. Mr. Knox, take it away.
Sure thing. So here we go. I will start on the Nexus Alpha and Omega layout, and you're going to hear me rustle around on paper because I actually took notes this time. So basically what we got here is a single point base on the Nexus Alpha and Omega. We have horizontal and vertical shield generators, which will allow you or deny you access into the capture point. So you can't capture the particular point of the base until you have taken down these shield generators, much like entering the lovely amp stations and whatnot. We also have this thing I like to call the basement here, and that is a nice little area that Sunderers can get into. We have vehicle and air spawns in this base as well. And that's pretty much it. Oh, it's also a 7-minute cap time, so 7 minutes to capture this base. And then I'll move on over here to the next ones, which are Argent Pass and, well, let's move this camera faster. My apologies. All right. Argent Pass and Slate Canyon Hold, which are the equivalents of each other. We have a single point base here as well. It's kind of got a right angle layout here. We got some catwalks. It's raised from the main, or I guess level ground where vehicles will be. There's raised with bridges for infantry cover, minimal building cover for air, to provide from air, but the capture point is inside of a building, so it's not very vulnerable to air attacks. And it is a 4-minute cap time. And then we'll go on over to the next one, which is Hydroponics Compound and Nexus Secure Substation. Camera is go faster. All right. And here we have as well a single point base, which is also a 4-minute cap time. We have multiple buildings, and it's kind of raised, but we have some catwalks and walls on the outside to provide for infantry movement. And vehicle spawn. There's a vehicle spawn at the other 2 bases I talked about as well. I forgot to mention that. Looking at my notes, I apologize. So yeah, basically pretty simple. We got a bridge here for infantry movement so that they can get past this vehicle area with a little bit of help. And the capture point is in a large building that's similar to what you might see in a biolab, with multiple levels here. The cap point's not in the same spot as a biolab. It's in the bigger lower area where the shield generator would normally be, which also provides good air cover. So now let's move on to Airzek Satcom Hub. We saw some good battle here last time. It's a 3-point base similar to a tech plant. All the capture points are indoors, shielded from air. We do have the B capture point, which is on the roof, but in a building on top of the roof. We have multiple elevators up and down to the roof from all levels of the base. From the ground level, we have it at the vehicle bay entrance. This is what I call that area, even though there's no vehicle spawns there anymore. And on this other side, from the second level, where normally you might see light assault at a normal tech plant fly up to get access to the base sneakily. We have some more elevators up to the roof there. And on the outside of this base, we have a lot of wooded area, which is going to provide a lot of sunderer cover. There's going to be sunderers. They could be anywhere around here, and they're going to be pretty well hidden as well. So we have some other bases, some other buildings on the outside as well to provide for cover for infantry also. I'm going to skip over this one because I didn't go over it last time, all the way over to the Bitter Gorge Garrison. We have a 3-point base here that's on a raised sort of platform where vehicles can't get access to it. A lot of catwalks, some bridges. We also have another little basement area similar to the Nexus Alpha and Omega for Sunderers. We have air and vehicle spawns right by the spawn room. And these particular capture points are a little more open to air vulnerability, so you might see some air hovering over this base, as they simply have a roof but no walls, so you can sneak some rockets and those lovely other things that we like to call Daltons and Zephyrs for some splash damage. So I'd expect to see some air support at this base when action is here. And it's a bit wooded on the outside as well, so there's lots of good places for Sunderers to hide on top of that. And then we'll move to the base we have never talked about here. It is, my notes, forgetting the name of it, Granite Head Reactor. And here we have 3 points. And these 2 points, B and C, are in a sort of a building complex that's kind of connected ad hoc. It's not something, the buildings are familiar on the inside, but they're connected in such a way that we haven't seen them in the real world, so it'll be interesting to see how each outfit plays to that. And then the third point, A point, is actually underground, which is very cool. Go down here, and we see an alpha point here. And there's multiple entrances into this point. You saw me go into one of them from the side of the B and C points. There's also 2 other entrances near the spawn room, which is kind of a standard big spawn room for these outlier bases of tech plants and AM stations. And then some cover. And this particular base is going to be hard for air to have really an effect. As you can see here, we got a lot of rocks overhanging the base, but it's still possible. So it'd be interesting to see what outfits try regarding that. They could camp these bridges with liberators from above, but that might not be very good because it's easy to get around that. So that's pretty much your base summary. I did forget to say, Bitter Gorge Garrison, Granite Head Reactor, and Arazek Satcom Hub are 21-minute captures if you control only 2 of the 3 points, and they are 7-minute captures when you control all 3 points. And I do want to talk about Lattice and how that works, since you can't see it on here by looking at the map. Nexus Alpha connects to the Warp Gate, and Nexus Alpha then connects to Argent Pass and Nexus Secure Substation. Argent Pass connects to Bitter Gorge Garrison, which connects to Granite Head Reactor and Slate Canyon Hold. Slate Canyon Hold connects to Nexus Omega. Nexus Omega connects to the Warp Gate up north. And the Hydroponic Compound. Hydroponics Compound connects to Granite Head Reactor and Arazek Satcom Hub. Granite Head Reactor does not connect to Arazek Satcom Hub. Rather, Hydroponics Compound and Nexus Secure Substation. So we have a little diamond action here, where controlling Arazek doesn't necessarily mean you have access to Granite Head, although in all likelihood you do, from Nexus Secure Substation or Hydroponics Compound. And that is your base layout summary.
Hey, thank you, Docs. Let's get to know our participating outfits this evening really quickly before we get right into the action. First off, we have TXR, or Total Recoil. How are you doing this evening? I think we're having Talron from them tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Pretty excited to be here, guys. Thanks for inviting us into this match.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about TXR.
TXR was founded during beta of PlanetSide 2. We are an outfit that strives for strong communication, team play, and tactics. We are primarily an infantry-based outfit, but we do have squads designated for air and armor. We are also part of the TTA, the Terran Alliance, on Connery, with the mercenaries.
Cool. Okay. And how do you plan on stomping out VS tonight and getting a win for TR finally?
We can't go into too much details, but we have a strategy implemented for pushing the tempo in this battle. Guys are extremely excited to be here, and we've been practicing hard for the last few days. We really need to stop this Vanu victory streak going on, so we're going to buckle down and whatever it takes to pull up the win.
That's what I like to hear. Okay. And they talked about MERC a second ago, but let me introduce them as well. So we have Mercenaries tonight, and from Mercenaries we have Lepelos.
Hey, thanks, Dorks.
How are you guys? Tell us a little bit about Mercenaries, or MERC.
Yeah, Mercenaries is actually a day one of PlanetSide 1 outfit, so we've been around for quite some time. We do a lot of tactical infantry play, but we've also become known to be having some good flyers in our group too. So, we're a nice mixture of vehicles, tactical infantry that's quick, and of course, some good ace pilots.
Okay. And how do you feel about what are you going to do to play your part to win some victories tonight against VS?
Well, obviously we're going to be bringing some good combined arms here. As Talron said, we're going to be pushing the tempo, of course. So I think there's going to be some really good action tonight for sure.
Sounds good. All right, let's get to our VS teams. First off, we have No Nonsense Gaming. And from No Nonsense Gaming, we have Jamal with us tonight.
How we doing?
Doing pretty good, man. And tell us a little bit about NNG. You are our first repeat outfit for Community Clash, I think.
Yeah, we were your initial guinea pigs, I suppose.
Yeah, saying it nicely.
So,
yeah, tell us a little about NNG.
NNG actually got started by our site administrator named Ghost Sheets, and he was playing Battlefield 3 actually, and he got fed up with power tripping admins that would just ban people left and right. So he went and created his own server, and he ended up creating his own platoon, and it ended up turning into a whole website. And now it's a flourishing community. So now when PlanetSide 2 came out, we had a pretty established Battlefield 3 community. And I said, having played PlanetSide 1, I said this game's going to be big, first off. Second off, it's an excellent transition from Battlefield 3. So Ghost Sheets gave me the go-ahead, and right when you were able to get Alpha Squad, I got right on in there, got into beta, and started recruiting for NNG, and here we are now.
Nice. How do you plan on keeping this VS winning streak going tonight?
Just utilizing our faction-specific tactics and making sure the TR understand what Vanu Supremacy truly means.
Nice. All right, let's get to our last outfit for the night. We have Dreadnought from the Great White Whales with us. How are you doing, sir? Hope he can speak. You there, Dreadnought?
He's probably talking to the wrong channel.
Might be. Might be.
He has himself set so he can't even hear you. You're going to have to poke him.
I am doing just that. Well, until we get back from that, I want to tell you guys real quick, we do have a special guest for halftime with us, and that will be ShockFC from Future Crew. Are you here, sir?
Yep, hey.
Cool. You'll be hearing a little bit more from him later, guys, as he gets into us with halftime and post-show. So,
all right,
good to have
Dreadnought's
him.
ready now.
Okay. Dreadnought, let's hear a little bit about Great White Whales. The Great White Whales. Maybe
or not.
Maybe we... All right, maybe we can catch a little bit about the Great White Whales at halftime.
I actually do have one thing that I want to say here real quick. Maybe he'll be back by the time. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here to save the day.
Okay. Yeah.
I just wanted to mention here real quick. Those of you out there who've been watching AGN for a long time and have been part of PSU for a long time will know Marsman. Actually retired from the AGN a while back, at about the beginning of the year or so. He's actually in the hospital right now, and not really sure what's going on with him. We don't have a lot of information, but if you pray or whatever, be sure to do that. If you don't, keep him in your thoughts. He contributed a lot to AGN, and this network actually is pretty much, he came up with the name for it. So definitely keep him in your thoughts out there. So
Let's let TR win for Marsman tonight.
Oh, go ahead and say that again.
I said let TR win for Marsman tonight.
No bias.
All right, that's all I've got. It sounds like Dreadnought is back.
Okay, Dreadnought, are you there?
Yeah, sorry about that. It's odd trying to get all these people together.
It's all good. We understand. Let's hear a little
like
bit
herding cats.
Let's hear a little bit about the Great White Whales.
Well, we're just an all air cav outfit on Matherson, and it was just started out of a bunch of guys who had a love for flying and didn't really being on the ground as much. So a bunch of us were Liberator pilots, and it all started around that. And then, of course, we got some Scythe pilots to join up to help with some support, and that's what we do.
Alrighty. How are you planning on blowing up some TR on the ground tonight? Anything special?
Yeah, we're just planning on aiming more straight than everybody else. That's the super secret plan.
Sounds good. All right, guys, that's our outfits for the evening. Those are the ones that will be participating. With that being said, we're going to get into our first 45-minute half of the night. There'll be 2 45-minute halves. The point system, as I said earlier, will be pretty simplistic for this evening. Every 1 point base captured is 1 point. Every 3 point base captured is 2 points. Nexus Alpha and Omega are 2 points if you capture them. Other than that, there is not much in the way of rules. All 4 outfits, are you ready to go? MERC, TXR, NNG, and Great White Whales, are you all here and ready to go?
Ready to rumble, boys. Ready to rumble.
Mercenaries reporting.
Alrighty. Think that's everybody. Jamal, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Talleyrand, I think we already answered from you. Dreadnought, are you there?
I think he went back over to our team speak.
I think that's a yes, though. Alrighty. So, Hammer, are we good to go?
Yeah, we're
right.
good to go.
I'm crossing my fingers right now.
Crossing those
Alrighty,
fingers.
Knox, Derringer.
Oh, I'm good.
We're good to start reading off the names, was what you're saying, right?
Exactly. We are good to start off each of our rosters before we actually start play. So
I
we'll
already
start...
talked a bunch, so Derringer goes first.
Fair enough. We can start with Derringer. Derringer, why don't you kick off the rosters? A roster. on your
Will
side.
do. I will be covering. I will be shadowing NNG and TGWW this evening, but I will also be covering the majority of the northern lane on this beautiful battle island. But the people I will be following this evening, we have starting off with Jamaw, we have Fado Test, we have Crisis Business, Celeborn, Cowleaf, Ice Bomb. Next guy, this is Sphincter Luber. I hear he's Jamaw's personal chauffeur. Yuki, Lava Flow, Doomforge, Gavald, Nannerpusu. That makes up Alpha Squad. Moving to Bravo, we're being led by Kuat, followed by Stupid Nooblet, Hemophilia, Free to Noob, Jathor, Teflon, Vim, Enraged VS, Dobai, Oakley Puka, Braxton, and Titus Resource. Next up, Charlie Squad. That's being led by More Win, Tukatsala, Bazan, Strack Attack, Stoqueeze, Crunk, Swisher 3, Negative Ace, Hemoglobin VS, Demos PTS, Garmin Dandy. And our final squad of Delta is being led by Stellant Cutie, followed by Dreadnought VS, Plasma, Harvester VS, Arcfault, Skill Cosby, not to be confused with that sweater-wearing god. Next up is Torin, who is a absolute firebrand on Reddit. Crude Lord, Thunderhawk TR. Hold on here. Arth, and last but not least, Fried Nuggets. Knox, over to you.
Sounds like we have a trader over on the VS there.
We do.
All right, well, I'll go ahead and start with the Alpha Squad of TXR/MERC, and the squad leader / platoon leader is our good friend Talron, who we heard from a second ago. We have Seamus, Honest Comrade, Commando, Sheep, Fear the Hawk. I have no idea. Meefy, Lupin May, Last Trojan, I'm going to go ahead and guess. We have our good tool friend, 46 and Tool, Ghost Hawks, Pencil Sticks, and Pencil Stick for Alpha Squad. Moving on to Bravo Squad, we have... Oh, God, I heard this. This is our good friend from MERC, our leader there, Lepelster, I think, if I can remember correctly.
Lepelos.
Lepelos. Oh, TR. Yeah, the TR threw me off. Lepelos. My apologies, good sir. We have another guy, Tom... what is this name? I feel like Torx right now. Tom WSMF. We have Oh Daddy, Knock, Nam, Swats, What in the hell? This is another one. Telk Dundane. There we go. Sure. We have Mongo 63A, Flav, Total Zone, Made in USA, and APOC Gray. Over in Charlie's squad, the leader is Warbird TD. We have Nixie, Rumby Pit, Jax Blake, a Rubbin No Ninja. I don't know. She Had I, Crunk, As Tricky, Scratch, Tea Party, me, and Linus. And in the Delta squad, we have Magnificent and Changes, Snafu, Snoggy,
Beat around.
Caliver, Caustic, Method, Whiskey Bravo, Cal Joran, Valor, Sadness, and Scoob MXT. And that will make up TXR MERC.
All right. Well, I think everybody's ready to actually see play. I enjoyed the names. Let's get to it. Hamma, are we almost ready for this 45-minute half to be kicked off?
Yes, indeed.
Alrighty. All right, outfit leads, can you hear me?
Yes.
Alrighty. Can I hear somebody from... Oh, that is TR.
Yep, can hear you. TXR.
Jama or Dreadnought, can I hear one of you guys? Are you ready to go for VS side?
Yeah, I'm ready to go here.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and count it down now. We're going to count it down. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do this, guys. Let's go. Match half one started. 45 minutes on the clock.
All right, we have a lot of movement. It looks like they're all going for air terminals, aka galaxies and mosquitoes. We do have some Thunderers spawning as well.
I'm seeing some similar action on our side. It is the ultimate air force is being pulled, and I think this is what we expected when we thought there would be a 48v48 battle. Am I right?
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that one. I see a lot of mosquitoes, a couple Liberator. Well, one Liberator, actually. I need to learn. Nope, there's two. My first statement's not lie. And some Sunderers. But they're all kind of patiently waiting for everyone to get their stuff before moving out. They realize this is a 45-minute half, and they have plenty of time to make the perfect strategic decision.
This is correct, and I definitely heard them saying one of the first things is to make sure that your vehicle is unlocked for the entire platoon. So it was good to hear people yelling that order right off the bat to make sure that there were no issues with that.
It looks like a few mosquitoes are actually heading out to scout. They're not with the rest of the group. They're probably just trying to find out where the VS are at. I like this idea.
Well, they're not going to find many people because the VS are still making their way out of the warp gate. But they are pushing out now, and it does look like VS is making a push towards up to the northern lane with just a single galaxy. The majority of their force is heading to the south your way, Nox.
And most of the mosquitoes seem to be hovering right over our favorite place, Granite Head Reactor. But there's a huge air battle going on right now.
I can tell you that from my point at Bitter Gorge Garrison, the Galaxy dropped everybody off, and they are quickly working on the various points here, but they are being harassed by a single Terran Republic Sunderer. I'm not sure how many people are in said Sunderer, but regardless, every point is currently being capped at this base by members of NNG right now.
Well, it looks like the TR are going for a very large air control system before they start taking these bases, because I don't see any action from them over here, except a couple Sunderers trying to set up over here at Arazak, and at I do see a few people on the ground at Granite Head Reactor. They are on the Bravo B and C points. No one's on the A point yet, though one guy is heading there. Warbird.
I do have a little bit of TR action on the ground. That one Sunder I was talking about has disgorged its passengers, and they are making a rush. There are only about 5 or 6 of them, though, and they're meeting some stiff resistance from the full squad of NNG that are here defending Bitter Gorge Garrison, the caps that they just took. Looks like we're pretty much down to just a single Max unit on TR running around, and he's being chased by a Zoe Max right now. So I don't expect them to live long. Well, I say that, but they rolled a harasser in here now that that is giving the Max a little bit of cover.
And Bravo Squad is here setting up at Arizek Satcom Hub. They're not really making a move. It looks like they're being patient, trying to wait for some support. They're just defending that Sunderer, making sure it's settled before they make a move. While the VS have control of all 3 points, and the base is roughly 6 minutes from capping over in the VS favor. So they have plenty of time to make a move and capture these 3 points.
From my end, we have a fresh Sunderer brought in by the TR, and they're actually assaulting the various points at Bitter Gorge Garrison right now. It's still in VS control, but some of the points have flipped back and forth a little bit as I've been here. It does look like VS have a pretty decent stranglehold on the base, but TR are still pushing out and seeing what they can do to try and unseat them and dislodge them from these points.
And it looks like Granite Head Reactor is under full TR control. They are 5.5 minutes away from capping the base. And it doesn't look like... I don't see much resistance here. It doesn't look like the VS are really focused on this base, as they want to take Arizek first. And they do have quite a few members up in the air. I see tons of VS air presence. Tons of... way more than the TR have right now. The TR started off very strong in the air, but after a bit of time, it seems like the VS have taken control of that. So we'll have to see how that plays out for them.
I'm seeing the same thing on my screen here. It is just the air is completely dominated by VS right now. I don't see a single TR piece of air in the sky over Bitter Gorge Garrison right now. That being said, the ground forces of TR are flipping these points. So it almost makes me wonder if there are too many people in the air right now.
Yep, and while TXR and MERC are setting up patiently outside of Arizek, the VS are pushing out. They have discovered the Sunderer. They're making a move to destroy it. The TR desperately trying to repair that sucker, keep it alive for them, but they still haven't made a move on the capture points, so I kind of wonder what their plan is here. I think they might be waiting for Bitter Gorge Garrison's where you're at. The Granite Head Reactor. I think they might be waiting for Granite Head Reactor to flip into their favor before making a move on Arizek.
That's an interesting strategy, because Bitter Gorge Garrison is highly contested. All points keep flipping back and forth in various people's control. This base is still a 6.5 minute capture time in favor of the VS, because there are so many TR rolling around on this point, taking things over, sneaking into various points, doing other things. But I think I'm at the point now where I don't see any more TR, and I think this base is going to succumb completely to VS control, and it'll be interesting to see where they push to next after this.
Yep, and Arizek is in complete VS control now. The Liberator and Scythe Swarm has taken out that Sunderer, which is not too hard. It was wide out in the open, not very well hidden. But they do have control of the base. It should be captured, and let's get in range. 3 minutes exactly. Hey, look at that. Wow, Granite Head Reactor is in strong TR control right now at a 3 minute mark as well. To take away from you, there's actually a large air battle over Bitter Gorge Garrison right now. It appears that all those TR that left the area went back and pulled mosquitoes. There are a ton of mosquitoes in the air currently engaging the Scythe. There's a lot of great action in the air over Bitter Gorge right now. Great air battle going on. Lots of reverse maneuvers going off, and I can definitely see them. Well, TXR and MERC are playing the patience game. Looks like they set up a bit of defense maybe here at Nexus Secure Substation. They're loading up in a Sunderer, making their way to put some pressure on Arizek's SATCOM hub, hopefully to delay it long enough for the TR to capture Granite Head Reactor, which is still easily under their control and completely uncontested.
It's the same here at Bitter Gorge Garrison, completely under VS control. There's 2 minutes 45 seconds left until this base caps. I believe that the VS have a pretty strong stranglehold on us in most of the map right now.
And Bravo Squad is setting the Sunder up over Arizek. Yes, VS right now turning these bases. If they turn both Arizek and the one you're at, that I can't remember the name
Bitter
of.
Gorge.
Bitter Gorge Garrison, they will have a lead. but it looks like these guys are trying to set up a bit of a distraction here, and maybe flip a point to slow down this cap time, which should give them a nice little advantage. They really need to do that. It might not do much in the long run. I mean, the VS will cap it right back, but if they can take one of these points to slow that timer down, it should give them enough time to move from Granite Head Reactor to Arzek if they choose to go there, or the Bitter Gorge Garrison.
Back at Bitter Gorge Garrison, there is a TR Sunder that has just rolled into the point. I'm not sure if it's distraction. It's being absolutely decimated by air right now. I don't believe anybody got out of it.
And the TR
before it was
have
blown
done just
up.
what I thought they might. They have taken the B point at Arzek. And I don't see any movement elsewhere, but it looks like they might be setting up a defense there before, and just to slow this timer down. They've slowed it down to 2 minutes from the less than a minute that it was at. So that should give them an advantage from Granite Head Reactor. The Granite Head Reactor will capture before Arzek if they can hold on to that point, giving them the ability to move in on it and take the other points before it turns over into VS control, which would be stealing 2 points from them. So let's see what they do. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, we're under a minute here at Bitter Gorge Garrison, and again, there's just a single squad here on foot patrolling all the points, and a good portion of the air is overhead as well, just kind of hovering. Really, it's almost as if they're daring the TR to bring some action in.
Yep, and it looks like the VS have taken back B point at Arzek, but it has slowed down the cap enough that Bitter Gorge Garrison should still capture first.
First 2 points on the board. First 2 points on the board for TR.
Granite Head Reactor has been captured, so they now can move into Arzek or Bitter Gorge Garrison. I'm going to head over there and see where they choose to go. It looks like a lot of sites and air hovering over this base.
That's what I was saying here at Bitter
Gorge to go
as
after
well.
Arzek.
At Bitter Gorge as well, there's just a number of air just up in the air, just absolutely waiting. And Bitter Gorge is about to flip right now, and Bitter Gorge has flipped.
Looks like that's 4 points for VS. Total between Arzek and Bitter Gorge captures.
The VS have taken Arzek to get 2 points, but TR are making a move on A point, flipping that over. Well, they tried to. It's back in VS control now. These two commandos have been killed.
And I'm not seeing much action here at Bitter Gorge. Everyone seems content to just stay put and defend this base. But I do see the TR Air Force has taken off again, and they are starting to move out of their warp gate. I'm not sure if they're coming my way to Bitter Gorge or if they're actually moving on towards that center base. But there are a number of them in the air right now.
There's one Lightning, one Harasser, and one Flash making their way towards Nexus Secure Substation. 0 defense here at Nexus Secure Substation. Just one Sunderer set up.
You said 4-2 VS, correct there, Torx?
Correct. The points currently are 4-2 in VS favor currently.
All right, copy that.
Although I don't see any movement towards the secure substation.
I'm watching a bit of the air above Bitter Gorge Garrison, and the TR mosquitoes are ganging up on the size. It's 4-1 in many instances. They're flying in and taking out the size. There's still a good amount of VS presence in the air, but there's definitely a running battle going up there right now with both sides really fighting it out.
And you know what I was thinking? The TR were going for Granite Head Reactor, and I thought maybe it might be to go after the hydroponics compound uncontested, and it looks like Alpha Squad is doing just that. They're walking in from the hills of Arzek right into hydroponics compound. They will be taking this point and beginning to flip the base into their control. They might be going from there into Nexus Omega is the thought, I would believe.
Nexus Alpha.
No, Omega would be their movement. But it does look like the VS have taken Secure Substation, and that is flipping into their favor right now. And I see only a few TR trying to take this point back.
From my end, there's still 0 activity at Bitter Gorge. I'm spending more of my time up watching this air battle that's going on. There's At this point, it appears that there is more TR air than there is VS air, and it does look like TR now control the skies. Of course, looking back towards the warp gate, I noticed that sides are being pulled again, and as are more liberators from the VS side. This is going to bring into play a tactic that not so much a tactic, but something that we discussed on or after we recorded ReachCast this week. We're wondering how resources are going to play late into the game as everybody is using up all their aerospace resources early on. It's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, they are not allowed to go over to another continent to gain resources during halftime. They have to gain only the ones they will get from here, which will be even for each team. And we have a lot of mosquitoes here over at Nexus Secure Substation to provide some cover, kill some Sunderers. The vehicles have been taken out. The VS do not have a Sunderer here anymore that I know of. And it looks like the TR are making a very small push on Alpha. They're using minimal resources to take this base back, which I like and don't like. I would rather see more resources be used to take the point back quickly in order to secure the base faster, and then pulled off and go move elsewhere. But because they're using so few resources, they're actually having a hard time taking this base back.
I've moved myself up to Argent Pass, where the VS have captured the A point there and are slowly flipping this in their favor. 3 minutes left, a little over 3 minutes left on the countdown, and TR are certainly ignoring this base. It is going to put the VS one step closer to their nexus point.
Well, similar to how the VS have control of... God, I can't remember this. Nexus Secure Substation, the TR have control over Hydroponics Compound. And it looks like Hydroponics Compound will be captured first, but only a few seconds, so it's not going to be enough time for them to redeploy and get back over and help at Secure Substation whatsoever. But there's
back
zero
to
action
Argent
here.
Pass. The Liberators for the TR side have noticed the squad of VS here at Argent Pass. They have taken out a few of them. A lot of them are taking refuge underneath the base at this point, or in the lower portion of the base, so that they're not easily campable by these Liberators. In fact, looking in on the A point, the entire squad is hunkered down in the A point, just daring an infantry rush to come in. And one thing that we do know at these points is, don't forget that there are spawn points, and at any time, TR could certainly redeploy to the spawn point, and I wonder if they can make a good rush on that A point and flip it back in their favor. We are under 2 minutes to the cap here at Argent Pass.
The TR are making a surrounded push, concerted effort from all entrances. The light assault jumped up onto the bridge. They have jumped in and secured Alpha Point, A point at Nexus Secure Substation, turning the base back into their favor, which should give them a nice little advantage. They really did a good job there. They attacked from all entrances. They had light assault jump up onto this bridge over here, or balcony rather. They had an engineer following a mech suit, and they took that base. They took back the point with ease. And it looks like, I hear other fighting though. It looks like the VS are attacking the turrets with rockets, NG turrets, and rockets from the hill to take out these artillery turrets at the base before moving in, which is a very smart idea, because the TR have been using those turrets already.
It's a 1 point up for the TR. The points are currently 4-3, still in VS favor.
That would be Hydroponics Compound, if I'm not mistaken?
Correct. Hydroponics Compound flipped.
So it looks like that squad has made a push towards Nexus Omega from Hydroponics Compound. They have a harasser engaged with the lightning, and that lightning is just absolutely annihilated it, even though it was a Skyguard. So that push, that little movement was nullified.
On my end, I'm back to watching the air battle going on above Argent Pass. There are definitely more VS in the air than TR, but it's definitely a nice running battle going on between both sides here. I really wish I could actually attach myself to one of these vehicles to watch first person how these are going.
And the TR are making a very, very strong defensive hold. They have lots of engineers on the Sunder, which is being pounded very hard. But they're holding the Hydroponics Compound just handily. Looks like they'll be securing that base.
Let's talk Argent Pass. We've got a pretty good battle going on, but there's only 2 seconds left to the cap, and it has actually flipped to the VS favor now.
Looks like that's a point for VS. It's 5-3 in VS favor.
And the VS have re-secured Nexus Secure Substation. They have medics, light assault. Let's see what these guys are. An infiltrator, heavy. Nice little balance here, taking out a Nexus Secure Substation. The TR have not responded. The point is firmly in their control right now.
Back at Argent Pass, the TR have actually made a concerted push and are almost onto the A point to work to recap this in their favor. There is a running battle going on though, and as I said before, there is a spawn room and the VS are using it to their advantage to keep pushing people onto the point. But there's some good medic play going on by TR, keeping their people alive. And I'm following one of them right now who's actually working on flipping the point.
The VS are crushing Hydroponics Compound with Liberators right now. I see very few TR presence here, but there's no VS ground presence, so they don't need to have a strong presence here right yet. They will soon, because I believe the VS are going to realize there's no one here very quickly, and they will be pushing a few forces onto this base to recap it.
Well, the TR are definitely dug in here at Argent Pass. They've pushed out all the VS, and it looks like VS have absolutely abandoned this base and are letting the 12-plus TR here have this point while they go and focus on a different area on the map. And I'm going to try and find where they are to see what's going on. So I'll throw it back over to you, Nox.
The TR have brought harassers into Nexus Secure Substation. They are attempting to retake control of this base, but harassers are kind of useless. There's really only a path for them to travel. All the harassers can do is shut down any Sunderers, and it looks like a VS Lightning that's been brought into play here. The VS have hacked the vehicle terminal, which has been taken out by the TR, and the harassers have killed the Lightning. We have light assault trying to blow up the harassers, but they're very fast. It's hard to do. We have VS control all over this base. The TR are going to be hard-pressed to take this with the few forces they have here. Although it does look like most of Bravo Squad is here. They are moving up onto the catwalk to try and get around the side of this base and get over to an area where the VS don't expect them to come from.
Looks like
while
VS
harassers
just took
create a distraction.
Nexus Secure Substation. That's another point to VS. It's 6-3 in VS favor.
That is correct. They have secured this base, so TR no longer have the spawn here. And they're going to have to bring a Sunderer into play, which I do not see. So they're relying firmly on medics at this point, trying to take this base back.
I want to switch to another continent, switch back on your mini-map, Nox. It should pull up the coloring in the lattice for you.
Looking at my screen while Nox does that,
Oh, thank you.
the TR are actually making a push now on Bitter Gorge Garrison. It is very lightly defended. I only see 2 VS players here right now. And some of the points are being flipped by infiltrators on the TR side and then being immediately flipped right back by the VS. But I don't know if the VS realize that there's a good group of TR just up the road here at Argent Pass with a little over a minute and a half to go, and then they will be making a push down this road to try and take Bitter Gorge back from them.
Well, and you know what's interesting right now is the VS have not even sent a single infantry into Hydroponics Compound. But since I said there are minimal TR forces there have been 0 TR forces at this base. The VS could simply walk in, take the point back, take the base, and secure another point to gain another lead. But they aren't. They're focused on defending Nexus Secure Substation, which the TR have gotten harassers up onto the catwalk, which still hasn't proven to be much use for taking the point. But it is providing a bit of a siege element to the base that the Vanu haven't really dealt with yet.
Same here at Argent Pass. We're under a minute on the cap for TR. And then, as I said, they'll be making a push. Well, I'm only assuming that they're going to be making a push down to Bitter Gorge. But a little over 45 seconds to go here.
The
There
TR
are no
are bringing
VS in sight.
Sunder into Secure Substation, but it is promptly taken out by multiple Liberators. The VS have a very strong air presence over the Secure Substation right now. I see 3 Liberators, 4 Liberators actually, 2 scythes within the region. I do see, though, a lone little harasser here trying to make a move on Arazak's SATCOM hub. They do have lattice connecting to this base from the Hydroponics Compound, which is currently being recaptured by the VS. They finally realize there's no one there. The VS have taken A point. They are going they're taking this base without any contention whatsoever.
Back at Bitter Gorge, the TR are making a little bit of a push here. They're kind of testing the waters here at Bitter Gorge. They're moving around with a harasser, seeing which points they can kind of probe in and take. Someone's moving into the Charlie point right now. There is still only a single VS here.
TR just took Argent Pass. That puts them a point up on that, leaving the points at 6-4 in VS favor still.
You missed it, but there was an epic Skyguard versus Skyguard battle. The TR came out on top on that one. That was pretty interesting to watch. They're just moving back and forth trying to get each other with Skyguards. It took quite a while. And the Vanu, actually, we totally missed it, but the Vanu have taken out both generators and a point at Nexus Alpha. It's 6 minutes and 45 seconds away from being captured.
I'm following Ice Bomb. He is the lone VS here at Bitter Gorge Garrison, as he is hunting TR, and he was actually just taken out. So TR are alone here at Bitter Gorge Garrison. There are only 2 of them. They own 2 of the 3 points currently, and the third one is flipping in their favor right now. I'm heading down to Argent Pass to see if the the TR here are moving out or not, and I don't see them. So I wonder if they've recalled back to the warp gate to make a push elsewhere. There are only a few TR here at Bitter Gorge, and very few VS to oppose them.
Well, I see at least 7 VS holding out here at Nexus Alpha. They are scattered across the room. There's a Zoe Max, a couple medics, a couple engineers, but they have a very strong hold on Nexus Alpha right now. The TR are really going to need to take that back if they want to secure some point. If they don't want to give the VS 2 more points that they have to spend 7 minutes to recover.
And watching here still at Bitter Gorge, there's still no reaction from the VS here, just a single person running around trying to stem the tide of TR that are working on this point. But again, there are very few of them. We're at a little less than 6 minutes to the cap here at Bitter Gorge, but TR are pretty much uncontested to try and take this base back, and they're setting up positions and really just waiting now.
The TR are working on Nexus Omega, just like the VS are working on Nexus Alpha, but the VS are doing a much better job of defending this base, I gotta say. The TR do have a squad here. Both generators are down, but it doesn't look like they've made their way into the point yet to try and take that over. So let me work my way in here. Nope, they're actually taking it right now as I speak. Oh, they cannot. They don't have control. They're just sitting here wasting time. They're losing hydroponics compounds, so they do not have the lattice control over at Nexus Omega. They're just sitting here, unable to capture the base, wasting valuable infantry resources that can be helping out elsewhere. In fact, it looks like almost an entire squad is sitting here, unable to capture the base. This is... They really need to be sending these guys over to hydroponics compound to try and take that back. They can't do anything at Nexus Omega. The VS are ignoring it, knowing that, which gives them basically a squad advantage right now. I really don't like that decision.
Very interesting. On my end, the VS Air has moved its way back to Bitter Gorge Garrison. They're working on taking out soft targets on the ground, but they're not actually putting boots on the ground to try and take these points back. They're content staying up in the air and just raining death down on these points. But as we know, a lot of these points are pretty covered up and well defended, that they're tough to get some shots down into.
Well, granted, and this is where the air control really has a big effect on the game. Is now you've got the TR hemmed in. They can't really push much further than a couple bases. And they can just send out all these Liberators to bomb their Sunderers, which every Sunder that's been sent over to Nexus Secure Substation has been shut down almost immediately.
I've been listening in on the VS comms as well, and Jamal is shouting out orders furiously every time one of those pops up on their minimap. So I'm not surprised that they're getting taken out quickly.
The TR making a strong push onto Nexus Alpha right now. The VS have a very good defense laid up, too. They're having a hard time getting in here. They're in here, but then there's VS just everywhere they look. And it's very hard for them to just push in and take the point. It's a very large room with lots of cover and lots of little shadowy, sneaky spots for them to hide.
Looks like VS just took back Hydroponics Compound. That's a point in the VS. That's 7-4. VS favor.
I see Hydroponics still has time on my thing.
VS took it. It was TR controlled.
I mean, that's what I mean. It's still got 3.5. Oh, they took it.
Counted the opposite
TR
way.
taking it back. My apologies.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, it's purple that threw me off. Yes, they are taking it right back. My apologies.
Gotta assume that the overseer is watching everything while you're casting some of that action, Knox.
I know. He's smarter than me.
He's
It's
good at
okay.
his job. He's good at his job.
Yeah,
The
that's
VS
back,
do
though.
have Alpha. They have 2 minutes to take it, which will be 2 points, which is huge. And it's going to take 7 minutes if the TR want to take this back, which is really not good for them. Taking that base is huge. There's a ton. There's at least 2 squads here. It's swarming.
At Bitter Gorge, it's absolutely empty. There are 2 VS that are capping this point back, and they pushed the few TR that were here out, and they really have free reign over this point, this entire base right now, and are just moving from point to point, flipping them over into their favor, and then content to just sit out the cap.
Yep. And the hard part about Nexus Alpha here that I'm thinking is there's multiple entrances into the base, which is good. Oh, we just got a TR squad drop. It looks like a Galaxy drop coming in. I just saw a lot of names appear on my screen. They were pushing in, getting mowed down properly quick, though. Lots of skulls. They came in only one door, and when you come in only one side, it's very easy to defend against. You don't have to worry about your back. But the TR have pushed in, but only a Max survives. There's no way he's living through this. The TR push has been nullified. They're trying to push in through another door now, but it's a little too late if you ask me. The VS still have firm control of this base. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe not. Looks like the TR have taken it back, actually. There are more VS, or fewer VS than I thought. TR have taken it back.
I'm
We got
taking a
some
little
good
time
medic
to
revives
watch
there.
some of the observer cam action on the stream and watching who's casting for TXR.
It's
Casting?
changes.
Is changes. I'm watching
changes.
not casting but streaming for TXR. I'm watching changes just mow down player VS after VS.
Well, it looks like Alpha has been secured. They also repaired a generator. This base will be theirs in 5 minutes. Will stay theirs. 5 minutes for fully secure, but both generators have been taken. I can't get out of the room now. This is fun. I'm gonna have to try and speed hack out of it. But they have secured the base, and there's multiple squads here, so they realize the importance of securing Nexus Alpha before moving on elsewhere. It looks like they still are flipping Hydroponics Compound in their favor with 30 seconds left, so that is very nice for them. They can then Nexus Omega.
I've moved back over to Bitter Gorge Garrison. There's about 1:30 left on the hack here, and then VS will control this as well and earn themselves another 2 points, barring any TR interference. But again, it's very lightly defended here. There's 2 lightnings prowling and a single infantry person on one of the points. Otherwise, this base is completely empty. It's as if this northern lane is being ignored altogether.
And I apologize, I called it wrong. Hydroponics Compound is flipping back into VS control now.
That doesn't change any of the point
other
totals,
way
does
around. It's flipping back to. Yeah, I apologize. You're right.
It's
You're
it's
right.
staying in their control. No points will be awarded, but they have kept the TR from pushing forward from there.
Yeah.
Good thing Torx is on point.
Yeah.
If it
I'm
weren't
glad to
for
see that
Torx.
Nexus Alpha got defended, though. That was awesome.
It would have been devastating for the TR to lose that base. That would not have ended well for them. They would have had a very hard time recovering from that point because they virtually have 0 lattice connection after that.
Well, they would still own Argent Pass and could push their way out to Bitter Gorge Garrison. Speaking of, there's 15 seconds left on the capture here at Bitter Gorge Garrison. Again, barring any catastrophic events by the TR, this will be 2 points for the VS. And as I say that, I see a Sunderer rolling up. They're definitely not going to make it, but it does look like they're going to make a push afterwards to cap Bitter Gorge Garrison back into their favor. But I did see a lightning head its way up towards one of the other points to try and stop them from being able to hack this. But they're all over A point before that could even occur. So even though Bitter Gorge Garrison was just capped by VS, it is being reflipped by TR at this moment. If they had only gotten here a minute sooner, they could have stopped this hack altogether.
I see 3 Sky Guards over here at Nexus Secure Substation securing the air before bringing in Sunderers. Now the Sunderers are rolling in. They are slowly working on taking Nexus Secure Substation back. There are infantry set up on the catwalk surrounding the base, but they have not pushed in yet. We got a light assault moving up on the roof. It looks like they are trying to set up before taking this point in order to make a strategic push and secure the base. Oh, and there it's flipping as I speak. It doesn't look like there's much action here. Very little VS presence to hold the base.
There is some action going on at Bitter Gorge. All 3 points have been capped by the TR, but the VS Air Force was made aware of what was going on here. They swooped in, took out the one Sunderer that was here, and now they're working on slowly taking out the few TR that are left. They're absolutely peppering this Alpha point with Liberator shells as we speak. Not many of the TR are surviving this attack, so I don't expect these points to remain in TR control that much longer.
Just for an update for everybody, it's about 10 minutes 45 left, and the score is 7-4 in VS favor.
The TR have pushed their lightnings up ahead of the actual Nexus Secure Substation base, trying to pick away at these sides and Liberators. They're taking a bit of damage, but Nexus Secure Substation should become TR before the match is over. There's a very strong TR presence there. I do not imagine there being much VS resistance, but they better take that quickly, because if they want to make a move on Arazak, they're not going to have much time.
I'm following an on-foot push. This is unexpected. We have a push on foot from Granite Head Reactor by NNG and TGWW, VS, moving their way down to Bitter Gorge Garrison. I would have expected them to roll in with a Sunderer. But no, they are, I wonder if they're overconfident in their abilities, that they're just running their way in here and recapturing the points. Maybe they realize that there are no longer any TR here, but they don't need to have an entire squad and a half at this point capping it. I see one lone TR max suit running around on the point here. Otherwise, it's all VS here at Bitter Gorge Garrison.
Well, the Vanu have made a push on a Granite Head Reactor. They have B point. C point is in TR control, but it had flipped back into TR control as I arrived. So the Vanu have a very strong presence here, but if the TR can hold just this 1 point for the remainder of the match, they will be keeping the Vanu from taking 2 points. And this is where they could really utilize resources smart, in an intelligent way. Knowing that there's less than 10 minutes left, if they know that, they could keep minimal forces here and just hang on to 1 point. And they will keep the Vanu from being able to take 2 points. And if the Vanu spend a lot of resources on trying to secure that base, it could work out in their favor, as they could make a push towards Hydroponics Compound, which takes only 4 minutes to capture, or make a large push on Arzek before there's less than 7 minutes to take that base.
I do see the timer at Nexus Alpha finally did count down, so it is 100% in TR control at this point, which is good for them. As we said before, it would be pretty devastating for them to have lost that point. And I do see, I'm just looking at my mini-map, not honing in on your territory, but I do see a cap just went through on Nexus Secure Substation, Knox.
It is. They are flipping it over. It's going to be about 4 minutes, and they will have control of this base. They're just securing it, keeping forces here to prevent the VS from taking it back. A few guys camp in the spawn. A Sunderer is set up right in the middle here. Actually, it's not even deployed. It must be in a no-deploy zone. We do have a Sunderer on the outside walls here set up by the point to keep the TR close to that point, but not too easy to destroy for the VS, so that's a good decision to set up that Sunderer on the outside wall rather than right in the middle where the VS can have easy access to destroying it. Although it has been just undeployed, so we'll see what happens. As I speak, they undeploy it.
I've moved my way up to Argent Pass as I'm watching a VS Sunderer make its way up to this point. It does look they're going to roll in uncontested. dump its contents out, and they're making a quick push with light assault onto the A point. Argent Pass, let's see how long the cap is on this particular point. I don't believe it's that long, so they could actually score some points with a cap here, VS, before the half.
And the TR have completely secured Granite Head Reactor, but what I do not like about this is they have at least a squad and a half here. It's completely unnecessary at this point. The match, that half will end. All those guys could be taking Hydroponics Compound, which still has enough time left to be capped. I gotta question the logic here. Maybe they're just not realizing that. It is a hard decision. In the heat of the moment, you might not realize it. The VS have zero presence here next to Sierra Substation. Actually, as I say that, a Galaxy flies in. It looks like a few guys have dropped out to try and take this point back. They are swarming the roof as we speak. Some C4 goes down, some explosions. The VS are moving to take out that Sunder, which they
Not to interrupt you,
have
Mark.
done.
Not to interrupt you, but I've got a TR Galaxy coming in to Argent Pass, looking to disgorge its contents onto this A point. And they've actually dropped some people out and are making a push onto A at this point right now. I've got a good running gun battle going between the VS and the TR at this point right now.
And the VS have resecured Nexus Secure Substation. They chose to use a Galaxy instead of the spawn while controlling the base, and that was very smart of them. It let them get behind the TR forces unnoticed. Well, kind of. A Galaxy is very easy to see, but it gave them a surround on the Sunderer that was set up right outside the warp, right outside of the spawn room. They had chosen to move the Sunderer that was on the outskirts of the wall, like I had described earlier, and set it up right in the middle there. And that was a bad decision, if you ask me. They would have been much better off keeping the Sunderer on the outside wall of the base. It would have not let that other Sunderer be easy to destroy. Instead, the Sunderer became surrounded after the Galaxy drop, easily taken out by the VS, and now the base is easily theirs.
On my end, I'm happy to see the TR not giving up Argent Pass without a fight. There's only 2 minutes left on the cap here, but it looks like they're definitely set up to keep pushing on this. They're respawning from the spawn room here and making pushes on that alpha point. It's definitely locked down hard by VS, but it doesn't look like they're going to give this place up without a fight before the half is over.
Looks like it's about 4 minutes, 45 seconds left. The score's still 7-4 in VS favor.
And the TR have really been hemmed in on the defensive here, and they're not using offensive tactics where they could be to make the VS start defending. They could be making a push on Hydroponics Compound from Granite Head Reactor, which would put the VS back on a bit more of a defensive stand. But as it is, they are completely on the defensive right now. They're trying to re-secure Nexus Secure Substation. They're trying to hold Argent Pass, and they have zero forces creating any distractions anywhere else, so the VS can focus purely on offense right now. And that gives the VS a very big upper hand, especially given that they have a 3-point lead. And I do not expect the TR to gain any points out of this half as it finishes.
And we know that Argent Pass, less than a minute left on this. VS could at least capture an additional point before we get to halftime. TR are still making a push.
8-4 lead.
Yeah, TR are still making a push, but I've got a squad and a half of Vanu here with air support, keeping them kind of hemmed in inside their base. And you're absolutely right, Knox. We're seeing a lot of this. The TR are forced to play a defensive game, having to move from point to point to try and stop different hacks. But the VS have that little advantage where they don't need to worry about that as much now that they have the lead, and they can commit their forces where they need to keep these things in their favor.
And the TR have done a not very good. I mean, God, I hate saying this because I don't want to criticize these players. This is a learning experience, and these guys have yet to really the mechanics and strategy behind the game has yet to be figured out. So something that I've noticed is they've had Granite Head Reactor this entire time, and this is a very good point to control because it gives them access to Hydroponics Compound as well as Bitter Gorge Garrison, and they could have been making small pushes onto those bases to contest them, just to contest them, which would have pulled VS forces off of their offensive push, kept them from being able to go after Argent Pass, which they now have just taken control of, giving them another point, and I believe an 8-4 lead. And the VS have resecured Nexus Secure substation. But they really could have used the Granite Head reactor much more strategically. They never sent forces from there over to hydroponics compound in order to pull the VS off of the offensive. And this, I mean, the best offense is a good defense, or the best defense is a good offense. Could, like, terminology or phrase could have come into play here. They really could have made a better push onto that base in order.
Looks
to
like
the
VS.
defense.
Looks like VS took Argent Pass. That's a point for VS. That is 8-4 in VS favor.
That is correct. The VS definitely cleared everything out here at Argent Pass. They are being kind of harassed a little bit by a TR harasser, but it's only 1 or 2 people here. Not a lot of pushback by the TR. And I think the VS are probably content to just sit on this point right now and take their points into halftime, since there is not that much time left in the first half.
I don't believe any more bases can be taken. We're now just seeing them fight it out, trying to maybe boost morale by getting some kills.
Just under a minute left in match. There's no way, or in half. There's no way any bases are getting taken. So looks like we're going into the end of the first half with 8-4 in VS favor.
I moved my way down to Nexus Alpha just to check out this 4 AA battery tower here that is working on the VS air as we speak. It's a pretty good light show in the air.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate, like, how TR could have used Granite Head Reactor much to their advantage. I really liked that they went for that base first. It has 3 connecting lattice points rather than just 1 like Arzek. It was very intelligent of them to take it, but then not doing anything from there to push onto Hydroponics Compound, to push onto Bitter Gorge Garrison from that point. They really could have done a much better job at keeping the VS from hemming them in. But the VS
looks like
right
half
after
is
Nexus
over.
Alpha. The VS went right after Nexus Alpha, causing the and that's one big thing too that I criticize the TR here. They did get hemmed in at Nexus Alpha. The VS took that, and that was very good of the VS. That caused the TR to have to pull all of their forces onto the base and off of the other bases.
And round 1 has ended.
Round 1 has ended. The score is 8-4 in VS favor. We will be taking a short break while our Master Magician Luperza flips the warp gates so that we have a even continent set up for the next half. And we're going to go talk to Shock. But before we talk to Shock, I want to tell everybody, if you're interested in what we're doing here, if you want your outfit to participate, you don't have to be MLG, you don't have to be esports competitive. This is for the community. Any outfit is welcome. A pair of outfits are welcome. We're trying out 4848 this week, or we'll probably be doing that next week, but we're not stuck to 4848. If you want to try other things, we can. It's not there's no harm with that. If you want to participate, or you want your outfit to participate, no matter how casual or how quote pro you are, check out the outfit application form at PlanetSide Universe, planetside-universe.com, and you can fill that in, and we will team you up with other outfits that kind of make sense for you, or you can find another outfit that you think you would like to play against, and if you guys all agree and get together, that'd be great. Tell us, and we'll get you guys together to play. Aside from that, also, if you want to be a special guest, like ShockFC from Future Crew this week will be, feel free to hit me up. I'm Torx, or hit up the PS2 ComClash Twitter. You can also check that, or ReachCast for that matter. It doesn't really matter. Email us, tweet us, however you want to get a hold of me. I'm more than happy to bring on people from the community to be special guests. We love hearing from you guys. This show is about you guys. So check that out. With that being said, let's get to our special guest, Mr. ShockFC from Future Crew. Are you there, sir?
Hey guys, what's up?
What's going on, man? So what did you think about the first half of tonight's Community Clash?
Well, the first half was interesting because it started off really air heavy, and I think that really set the tone for the VS. Unfortunately, with a very long extended match like this, air is actually going to become less and less critical over time. But what I really noticed about the VS here was that they were in control, and TR they were all over the board. They were too reactive. They were too defensive, and they weren't working together. They didn't seem tight. They didn't seem like they were really a ball. Like I like to kind of tell my guys, like they need to stick together in that big ball. But that early air push, as I said, it set the tone for the entire game. I think the TR were just backpedaling the entire time.
Alrighty. So, Luperza, are you there while you're flipping the bases?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, what did you think about the first half?
Oh man, that was crazy. So I definitely agree with Shock here. That taking advantage of the air cover there is amazing because this is such a small map. You can really fly around the area so much faster. You're going to have sight on every base pretty much, especially if you're, like you're saying, the Granite Head reactor is one of the best bases. I was kind of surprised with the TR actually owning that because, like you were saying, it has connection to all the other bases. It's great for defense because it's really hard to capture. You got all that cover around you. The sides are pretty much protected by those mountainsides. And also the bases, the capture points are within inside of these little, buildings. So it's a lot harder to take. Whereas some of the other bases have much wider open spaces that you have to kind of cover. And the air support, which I was kind of surprised that, TR and VS kind of had that air support, but they weren't always utilizing those to protect their guys. I did see a lot of Liberators working together to help their infantry out and give them cover, which I thought was amazing. There were some awesome plays. I would say that the TR needed to step it up as far as I saw a lot of times where they would just keep rushing into rooms like one at a time, or like they would rush into a room with all their guys kind of bunched up rather than moving in like in a more organized fashion. So either the VS could just pretty much cover that one door and just demolish them, or they could just keep killing them as they were coming one at a time.
Alrighty. So do we have Lepelos? Are you here?
I saw some crazy Max play by Lepelos, though. I was watching him. He was one of those last Maxes in there, and he was just killing things. And he was like all alone, and I was like, "Oh my God, is he going to be the savior?" And no, he died. But it was valiant.
Well, thank you for that. I mean, it's nice to be the martyr for TR, I guess, sometimes.
Sorry. So what did you think about the first half, Lepelos? I'm sorry, I was pulling somebody into one of the other outfit leads.
Well, I mean, some of it I think was expected there. I mean, the giant air battle, I think this is something that's going to, in the current state of the game, that's going to repeat itself time and time again. We were expecting that, obviously, and obviously they were. So that is obviously a sort of an interesting first clash. I think, to be honest, I think they just stuck with it a little longer than us, and we got off our game a little bit there. We did a lot of things that is atypical both of Mercenaries and TXR there, and that they sort of capitalized on that.
Okay, let's hear from TXR real quick. What do you think about the first half?
Yeah, to add to Lepelos' comments, the air battle was extremely intense, and hats off to the Vanu side. You guys really had your Liberators effectively there. I think, as Lep said, having air control for the Nexus is a pivotal thing when going against 48 versus 48. If you have the air, you have intel on the ground forces, and you have support for your troops. And I think TXR and MERCs got disconnected between the infantry and the air, and it was hard to rally back.
Alrighty. Let's hear from Jama on NNG.
Yeah.
What did you think about the first half, sir?
I'm super impressed with our guys. I think the air battle, like everyone's been saying, was really nice to watch for NNG, but we kind of let the whales take care of that, and we hit the ground pretty hard, and we tried to be a pretty cohesive group between our two main ground squads, and really pushed the fronts, and it seemed like it was working. So I had a great time, and TXR and the MERC guys were definitely giving us a pretty good battle whenever we would engage them. So I had a great time. I think the guys had a great time. Can't wait for the next round.
Alrighty. Dreadnought, are you there?
I am here, sir.
Alrighty, let's hear from the Great White Whales and how you thought the first half went.
That's the craziest air battle I think I've ever seen. I honestly, for part of it, wanted to be on the ground just so I could look up and see what was going on, because it was really impressive to see from the air, and I heard a lot more screaming on TS than I've ever heard. I mean, typically our guys, when we go up against people, it's semi-calm, but it was very, very crazy when we got up there, and those guys did an amazing job. I can't tell you how many times I heard somebody scream snafu. Yeah, just everybody look out for Snafu. He's an amazing pilot, and it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome to hear. I'm going to let you guys get back to your outfits and get prepped for the second half. Looks like our magician, Loopers, already has the continent set up, so Nexus is prepped. We're going to talk a couple more minutes with Shock here about his outfit and what he's all about, and talk to Loopers for a couple minutes, and then our casters, and then we're going to go right back to the second half. I'm going to drop you guys back down to the other channel. It's good talking to you. We will talk to you again in the post-show. All right, Shock. Let's hear a little bit more what you thought about the first half, and then let's hear a little bit about Future Crew.
Well, you know, the first half is pretty much, to me, like it's looking like the TR. The only way they can come back is if they start using, you know, they start getting to points fast. They start getting inside because the VS air is obviously too strong, and they need to get AA. A lot of those libs were just completely uncontested, and I think that. I mean, I think AA is a very viable option for them, but I didn't see Skyguards, I didn't see AA Maxes, I didn't see a lot of things from TR that they definitely could have utilized. And if they can, you know, push their resource usage down, use that, you know, low resources next half, and get rid of the VS air, they're going to have a strong chance to win. And of course, controlling that map is going to be a big thing for them too.
All right, let's hear a little bit about your outfit, Future Crew.
Future Crew is I'm the outfit leader of it. We were on the Community Clash 2 weeks ago. We were able to play against TIW, which we were able to win. We're an outfit from PlanetSide 1. We've been around for about 10 years. We've done a lot of things in PlanetSide 2 thus far. We were the winners of the Ultimate Squad Showdown, and you know we've kind of been bouncing around the community doing a lot of different things. I myself am very active on PlanetSide.cc, which is Kid Riot's new competitive forum, which is very awesome. But you can just check us out at future-crew.net.
Alrighty. Well, it's good talking to you. We will talk to you more in the post-show. Let's hear last comments from Luperza. What are you thinking about the first half, and what do you think they should do differently in the second half for TR to come back and win?
Oh man, that's a rough one because you know they did do some amazing plays as well. But I would say that pushing together, kind of organizing the crews a little bit more, but I think would be good. I think they had a lot of dudes that were kind of just hanging out in areas that didn't have fights going on, and I think the VS kind of knew that at some point, and they were just letting them have it for a little bit and then coming in and cleaning it up at the end. And I don't know, man. They were getting spread out too in the air because I was watching that air fight. That air battle was insane, but the VS were just really coordinated. I'm not sure what's going on both sides, you know, because I'm not hearing their comms.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell without hearing from their first-person perspectives, which we'll hear more from in post-show. All right, Knox, Derringer, you ready to go for the second half?
I think we are. We're actually also going to switch the lanes that we're each going to be casting on. So Knox will be taking the northern lane, and I will be taking the southern lane this time around, just to switch things up a little.
All right. And Hammer, are we ready to go?
We are indeed.
Alrighty, I'm going to grab the outfit leads for one more second to count them down, and then we're going to start the second half. Let's get right back to the action. All you guys, I'm sure all the viewers can appreciate that. Hey, it changes. Alrighty, I'm waiting for the outfit leads to come back on, and we'll count you guys down for the start of the second half. Make sure that everybody's ready to go. They're inside their warp gates. Warp gates have been flipped, as I said before, so that everyone has a fair view of the terrain, and everyone doesn't, and each team can see from both sides. All right. Do we have Talron here? Are you here?
I am here, just assembling the guys. Do we have a couple more minutes, or what's?
We can, if you need them. That's why I was checking with you guys for.
Yeah,
sure.
just need a couple more minutes to get situated here.
Alrighty. Well, let's go back to Knox and Derringer then. I'm interested to hear from your guys' perspective. I know you were casting the first half, but what do you think now that you can kind of sit back and think about the breakdown of how things were played out?
Oh, the breakdown of how things are played out. I want to say the VS controlled the air, and it was huge. Those Liberators taking out Sunderers before they could even get set up was really what I figured to be what led to VS victory, as well as Granite Head Reactor not being utilized as much as I would like to see, considering its lattice connections. What I was saying at the end of the half.
What about you, Derringer? What did you think about it?
I think I drank too many chai lattes. I go to the bathroom.
Chai lattes? What the?
Well, I'll tell you what. It was a blast watching the first air battle coming out of the warp gate. The TR seemed like they pulled really heavy ESF early, and I think we saw a couple gals from VS side leading the charge. And TR, at least when I saw the initial air battle being engaged, it was almost all TR Mozzies, and they were engaging over the cliff, closer to the VS warp gate than their own, kind of giving them the advantage of their, I guess, the first hit. A lot of the Vanu ESFs didn't come out till post the gals, so it seems like the gals led the charge, and the gals even had some anti-air on themselves, and they were gunned. And you saw a couple libs, and then a whole bunch of ESS follow that.
That's actually a really good point to bring up. Is it kind of pulled the ESFs onto the galaxies, and then the sides struck after that, and it was actually really intelligent play by the VS to basically bait the mosquitoes onto the galaxies.
Yeah, I wonder if that was intentional. If that was just how it played out.
Or just coincidental, but you might see it in the future as intentional.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like it was a valuable, whether intentional or not, strategy. The gals did soak up a lot of the initial damage. They got their drops off before they were destroyed, so they served their purpose. But yeah, they seemed to soak up the targets from the SF.
All right, guys. Seamus, I want you to pull it.
I think you're talking. Tell you're talking to us. All right. So when you saw the gals kind of come in, they soaked up the initial targets, and once the Mozzies turned their backs to them, you saw a lot of the sides kind of sneak in right behind that, as you said, whether that was intentional or not. But then you saw air supremacy kind of switch over to the VS side. I could have sworn it was going to be TR air supremacy initially, but that's not really how it turned out.
Same here. I thought that controlling air in a macro-based gameplay like this, like I played Desert Combat way back in the day, and the best teams on the maps that had air were able to control the air because it gives you so much more visibility on what's going on. You're able to report to your teammates what the other team's doing. You're able to strike key targets effectively. Air control is crucial throughout the entire match. I don't know how much I agree with Shock on what he said as air becoming less crucial. I feel like it's crucial the entire way through.
Alrighty, get our outfit leads back on. Talron, are we ready to go?
Yeah, we're ready to go when you guys are.
Okay.
NNG. The whales are ready to go.
Okay, so both VS outfits are ready to go. Can we get something from MERC real quick?
My game just crashed. 1 second here.
Okay, looks. Talron, do we just get a crash, you said?
Yeah, my game just crashed. All tabbed out.
Okay. MERC, you said you're ready to roll?
Mercenary is good to go.
Okay. Knox, Derringer, how you guys looking?
I'm good.
I am full to the brim and ready to go.
Oh man, okay.
He's got his chai tea.
It's horrible.
I've had 5 of them this evening.
Wow.
Somebody's thirsty.
That is a lot. Good lord.
Take it easy there, Derringer.
I'm like the Mike Shannon of esports right now, and anyone from St. Louis will understand what that means.
Mike Shannon. As soon as we hear back from Talron, we'll get the second half kicked off. For those of you that are just tuning in now, Community Clash is a PlanetSide 2 community-run event where we pit outfits against each other for fun and entertainment. Your entertainment, their entertainment, and everything else. We're doing the best we can. I know there's a lot of complaints on some of the observer cams. We're doing the best we can with catching the action, and we're taking steps to improve that week by week. So keep giving us feedback. Email us at ps2comclash@gmail.com or tweet us at ps2comclash with any feedback you have, good or bad. We're big boys. We can take a little criticism. but we're doing this for you guys, the community, just to so you guys have a place to compete. If you're esports or otherwise, it doesn't matter to us. This is for everyone in the community that plays PlanetSide 2.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyone who criticizes me, I'm gonna go in my room and cry.
Oh man.
Me too.
Nice. All right.
The good news is that Knox and I aren't cut.
Yeah,
so.
just loading up here, guys. Sorry about the delay here.
You're
just loading back
fine.
in.
Nothing you control. It's no big deal.
It allows me to make jokes. It's okay.
Yeah. Poor jokes.
Yeah, piss poor jokes. But hey, whatever.
Don't say piss.
All right.
Say
So, yeah, he's gonna blow up if you keep telling him that.
chai teas.
I want another one.
So we have community. This is the community clash. Like I said, PlanetSide 2 community event. We do that. If you want to check out and sign your outfit up, you can go to planetside-universe.com. There's the outfit fill out form you can do there, and we'll team you up. You can play. Anybody can sign up, no matter size. If you want to team up with other outfits to play, feel free. That going into the second half, 8-4 in VS favor. The 2 VS outfits that are playing this evening are the Great White Whales and No Nonsense Gaming, versus the 2 TR outfits, TXR or Total Recoil, and MERC, Mercenaries. That is a 48-48 combat, and as I said before, VS are leading 8-4 currently in the first half. We are going into the second half shortly. Talron, how we looking?
Just 2 more minutes here. I'm sorry, I just crashed again.
No worries. All right, let's hear one last hurrah from Luperza, I guess. Go to the second half and see what hurrah. And obviously this couldn't be done without SOE support. They provided Nexus for this, and Luperza here is our female Wizard of Oz. She is flipping everything around and getting the continent ready and preparing it so that us, the community, can do things like this. So we appreciate it, SOE and Luperza, for doing it for us.
Let's give a shout out to our good buddy Clegg in chat as well. He's clegging it up as usual.
Oh boy. And the two voices you really haven't heard much tonight are Hamma and Jenny Boo. Jenny Boo is in the chat room talking with you guys, and Hamma is our productions master on this. He's doing all the productions, the camera switching, the little assets see pop up with the score, the timer, all that stuff. That's all him. He's the one doing the stream, doing all the camera work. So thank you very much, Hamma.
Yeah, not a problem. This is my time to sit back in the seat and relax. I don't have to switch cameras. You're always muted. She's always muted by accident.
I said and melt because it's like 90 degrees in this room right now.
Wow, it went up 10 degrees that quickly?
Mm-hmm. It's so hot.
Sounds like we have a couple.
Is it 100 yet?
It will be soon, I'm sure.
102. You can't take much more, Captain.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
All right, guys, I am back and ready to go in like 30 seconds here.
Okay, it sounds like we have a couple crashes on the VS side. Is that true, Jamal?
Yeah, one of our pilots crashed, and we're waiting to get him back in here. It should be any second now. I believe he actually is back on now.
Okay, so that being said, it sounds like we have everybody. I want to do one last. I know we got you guys earlier. I want to get it again. Dreadnought, are we good to go?
Yeah, we're good here, but while we're waiting on pilots, those guys aren't any good.
Oh, all right.
They mean nothing in this game.
Lepelos, are you good to go?
Yep, Mercenary is good.
All right, Jamal?
One moment. We actually just had one member crash. If you could give us just 30 seconds, he's logging right back on right now.
Sure. And what about you, Talron?
Hey.
Yeah, ready to go when you guys are.
We're just waiting on Jamal.
Let's give websites and Twitters out real quick while we're waiting.
Okay. The show,
the
main thing.
outfits.
Oh, okay. I apologize. The outfit Twitters. Let's get Dreadnought to start off. Dreadnought, what's the Great White? Or what's your Twitter? Since I think you're the representative for Great White Whales,
it's just
right?
Dreadnought VS. It's NAUT, just because it was easier for people to spell. And our website is just greatwhitewhales.com. Thanks.
Okay. And what about Lepelos? What are you thinking? What's your Twitter for the team?
Well, I have a personal Twitter. It's actually just at Lepelos, so you can follow or see what I'm tweeting there occasionally.
Okay, Jamal?
Our Twitter is at No Nonsense Gamer, and then we have a Facebook, and that's /No Nonsense Gamer. The Twitch is /JMaw, and that's my Twitch, and I'm basically the Twitch guy for NNG.
Okay, and what about Talron? Can you tell us about your...
Our official Twitter is TXR_outfit, And Changes and myself both have our personal Twitter accounts that you can check out there. Mine's at TXR_Talron. I'm not sure what Changes is, but
at Tell Changes.
At Tell Changes. And our website is TotalRecoilOutfit.com.
Nice. Alrighty. I think that being said, Jamal, do we have you guys back on?
Yes, we do. We are
Okay,
all set.
Knox, Derringer, you ready to go?
I'm never ready.
Ready and willing.
All right, Chai Tea away. Let's do this. I'm going to count it down. I'm going to start in 15 seconds, guys. And second half will be started off. As I said before, it's 8-4 currently VS favor. That is, stack countdown will start now. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Let's do this. Move you guys back down. Have a good half.
These guys are moving out. A lot more guys going to the vehicle spawns this time, but plenty of dudes going to the air in the TR.
Same on my end as well, just like last time. Air is crazy, loading up right now, galaxy after galaxy, scythe after scythe. It looks like TGWW is going to use the exact same tactic they did before, and as we know, air superiority certainly seemed to do them well in round one, or in the first half. So
It
it'll be
did.
interesting to see what they do the second half.
I'm seeing a little bit different strategy from the TR this time. I see a couple harassers as well as Sunderers coming out, so it looks like they're going to try and gain a bit more ground control and quick movement.
I did see a number of scythes just go blasting off with their super afterburners to go try and get on these triple cap points quickly to see if they're able to flip them into their favor.
Super afterburners? The
Super
VS have special
afterburners.
afterburners. It looks like the TR are getting very high. Maybe to this... Man, getting very high. They're heading over the
It's not that
hydroponics
kind of game,
compound.
Knox.
They're heading over the hydroponics compound, getting very... No, they're moving their sights way up in the air to get lots of visibility here. And they're a little more patient this time. Maybe they'll listen to the halftime report.
The tactic here at Arizek Satcom is one scythe went flying out, piloted by a infiltrator. He landed, hacked a terminal, and has spawned a Sunderer, and is putting that in a good position to have people spawn here at Arizek to start taking these 3 points. He is being hunted by a single mosquito, but I think the VS Air is going to take care of that pretty quickly.
I'm seeing, like, it started off like Civil War, well, no, like Revolutionary War, old school, like they're facing each other, waiting to make the move. But the air has begun to battle. The air battle is commenced. Lots of scythe, lots of mosquito action, lots of smoke. It'll be, this is, I mean, I don't know how to cast air. It's impossible for me to tell. I don't fly, so I can't tell you who's winning. We'll just know after we see a scythe or reaver dominate, or a scythe or mosquito domination at the end of this battle.
Just watch for the explosions.
There are explosions every now and then.
Count
Lots of
them.
flares flying off.
While
I see
you're
some-
casting explosions, I will tell you that a few Sunderers have moved in from the TR side here at Arizek Satcom Hub. The points are all being flipped in VS favor right now very quickly, but TR are working on making a foothold at this base to see if they can cap some of these points back. But I have an entire squad of VS here right now covering all 3 points, as well as the lower level daring the TR to come in.
I feel like half the platoon for both sides is in the air right now. I'm seeing very few resources being used here at Bitter Gorge Garrison. The TR do have control of 2 of the points. But when I look up, I still see, despite all the explosions I've seen, countless mosquitoes and sides in the air, liberators, galaxies, all duking it out right now. And I'm surprised, I wonder if this galaxy here is actually an AA galaxy, like nothing but AA guns on it. I wonder how effective that would be in a battle like this, like World War II style flying fortress.
That would be an interesting... Oh, well, I've seen it deployed in regular games to great effect, just hunting enemy air, so I don't see why it wouldn't be a bad idea.
They're big and beefy. Why not? It doesn't seem to be that way, though.
First you say they're getting
Scythe and
high,
Reaver.
now they're big and beefy. What is going on over there, Knox?
Mike Shannon style, that's what's going on.
there's a little bit of action here at Arizek. It's definitely been locked down completely by the VS. There's a few TR stalking around. A lot of them are on the ground taking pot shots at air. They do have at least one Sunderer set up, with a second one rolling around. Looks like it's doing a lot of shots into the air to see if it can help take down any of that air, but I don't know that it's being too effective. It's taking a lot of these pot shots here at the Liberators that are flying around, but they're not really making a hard push into any of the points here at Arizek, and we have just under 5 minutes to go on the entire cap for VS favor.
And the air has thinned out, but from what I can see of marked versus unmarked air vehicles, it seems like the TR have a slight advantage in the air right now. That's not to say they'll maintain it. They'll need to keep that presence up in order to completely control the air. But I think they might be trying to get some air control of this game before making more of an effort on the ground. Because the air really dominated them in the first half.
The TR Sunderer that is rolling around on Arizek Satcom found the VS Sunderer and blew it up very quickly. So they've taken out, I believe, the only spawn point here for VS, and they're now actually starting to make their way into these points to see if they can cap anything else. Scratch that, there is a Sunderer, but it is actually directly south of the base. A pretty far walk for VS to get over here, so
well, the TR aren't
way.
Too much closer. I mean, I'm kind of guessing where your Sunderer's at. I can't see it myself, but they have a Sunderer set up here on the outskirts of Granite Head Reactor. It is in a sneaky little spot, hard to see, not very easy for air to get. In fact, I would dare to say impossible, but that's not true. It's a video game. Nothing's impossible. But they are making their way into Granite Head Reactor. They have full control of Bitter Gorge Garrison right now, only 4.5 minutes away from being captured. Although the VS do have some air presence overhead, it's not going to do much. The TR have a firm control here of this. Actually, a point is flipping as I speak. They don't have firm control. The VS are making a small push onto this base. It looks like not complete and utter control, but the TR have control of the base. Actually, this is blinking on my minimap. They have control of the point. I lied. It's just a minimap bug.
TR are making a push, as I said, on Arizek. They've actually taken one of the points here. They've taken the lower level Charlie point, which we saw a lot of good action around on last week's episode. But VS are making a strong push back. We've got some max action going on, which we saw a lot of as well last week. But VS are certainly pushing on these points.
Well, you know what I'm noticing right now is the VS have once again delayed their air control. They let the TR waste all their air resources, seemingly. I'm just assuming. But now there are tons of VS air. I don't see a single marked air vehicle, which means no one in my platoon is in the air right now unless I look directly at the warp gate. It's all VS air right now. The TR are really going to need to step up their air game in order to control this. The Great White Whales have proven their air superiority as a air outfit, and they have control right now, which is going to prove to be a huge advantage for them later on in this match.
I will agree with you there 100%. If anybody had any doubts on what kind of outfit Great White Whales are, they're really showing their colors right now. I would hazard to say if you are a pilot interested in doing stuff like this, you should probably look them up.
And clearly they're friends with other outfits.
Yes, they are.
But no, they do have firm control of the air right now. The TXR, although they are making a strong push from what I can tell onto the Granite Head Reactor, which is your territory this half, the Bitter Gorge Garrison is 2 minutes, just about 2 minutes flat from catching into their territory. Very little VS action here. So we'll see if they make a push after the Argent Pass afterwards, or move more towards Granite Head Reactor to really secure that base as theirs.
Well, we have a minute left on Arizek, so I'm going to leave that alone. There's not much action going on there. VS have a firm hold there, but there is some good fighting back and forth here at Granite Head Reactor. TR have the alpha point. Bravo and Charlie are still firmly in VS control, but like I said, there's a good push being done by TR at this point, and they actually have some bursters on the ground, max burster suits, working on trying to take out some of this air as well. as you can imagine, it's tougher for the air to shoot down into Granite Head Reactor because of those cliffs that kind of envelop the entire base in the middle.
But yeah, this is true, but with a strong air control, they really could still lay into them. But I'm getting Liberator bombs. It seems like Dalton's, not Zephyr's, striking the Alpha point over at Bitter Gorge Garrison. It does look like they're getting several kills. I mean, they are sneaking these bombs. Actually, it's probably Zephyr, it's too quickly. But they are sneaking them right underneath that roof. It's not splash damage, it's almost direct damage at this point. I see several skulls. These guys are skilled with that Zephyr. They're not laying them in at max fire rate. They're just picking them in very nicely and neatly, but every single Zephyr strike is hitting directly on targets, directly on the point. But I don't see any VS ground forces taking these points. It looks like it's still going to flip into TR control.
Back at Granite Head Reactor, the TR are actively again taking that Alpha point. Prior to you switching over to my cam here, I witnessed this Talron here back up in his lightning and run over multiple friendly units. That certainly does not help their efforts.
That does not bode well, no.
He's rolling a Skyguard, working on taking out the enemy air. And unfortunately, he is rolling over some of his own friendly players. And as I've been speaking,
looks like
just dropped out of a Liberator. So a couple VS dropped out, well, at least one dropped out of a Liberator, taking the B point at Bitter Gorge Garrison. But it's still only 1 second away from turning over to TR, and it's under TR control right now.
All right, looks like TR took Bitter Gorge Garrison and VS took Arazak. That leaves the score 10-6 in VS favor currently.
So now this is where TR could really take control with the lattice. They would take after Argent Pass once they can uncontest these points. But it does look like VS have immediately flipped over the C point to neutral at Bitter Gorge Garrison. Although the map bug blinking A, it's not actually being taken. But if the TR can take these points, push after Argent Pass, they can take all their resources off of Bitter Gorge Garrison and really get on the offensive, which is what they're gonna need to do in order to win this half and the round.
While that's the case, they have taken all 3 points here at Granite Head Reactor, and in a 3:45, it's gonna flip over to TR's favor.
There's still virtually no TR air presence. I see a Mosquito, 1 Liberator, and that's just not going to suffice against the VS air presence. I can see 4 sides on my screen alone, 5, 6 sides on my screen, 7. There's 7 and 8 coming in, 9 coming in from the warp gate, a Galaxy over at the VS warp gate, a Liberator over at the VS warp gate. The VS still control the air completely and utterly, which is going to give them a major advantage as the time pushes on, preventing the TR from bringing Sundoras into these more open bases.
That may be the case, but wouldn't it behoove them to have infiltrators just hack the vehicle terminals and roll out some fresh Sunderers at the specific base themselves?
It wouldn't be a bad idea.
You know what I mean? Because you say that they have the advantage of the air, but looking at my map, the TR are actually controlling Granite Head Reactor right now. It's flipping over in their favor in a little over 2 minutes. And they'll have more points on their side than the VS will. And of course, as I say that, there's some action going on in the hydroponics compound, which I need to go check out. So I'll throw it over to you, Knox, as I head over there.
Sure, yeah. And taking Granite Head Reactor is very crucial for them. It's a base that they can take without having to worry about air. So it's a very good decision for them to take that if they are losing the air battle. But they're going to have to make a push towards Argent Pass. And it looks like they have, actually. The point is... Let me go a little closer here. It is in TR control. There's 1 man here, but that 1 man lets them completely abandon Bitter Gorge Garrison and make a push elsewhere. So they're going to try and get this offensive game going. They're going to take this point over at Argent Pass. I see 0 VS trying to go after him, so they're using absolute minimal resources to take this base. They will want to bring some guys here later if they want to secure this base for points towards their victory. But right now what they're doing is very smart. Minimal resources. Let the VS react. If they can begin to make the VS react, which is what the VS did to them the first half, they can take control of this game.
I've cemented myself here at Hydroponics Compound. It is straight in VS hands. Every time TR brings some air in, it's like a pack of wolves descends on that one piece of air coming in solo and absolutely decimate it and scare it back towards the warp gate. So they don't have a lot of things to worry about here at Hydroponics. I mean, every now and then a Sunderer does roll in and disgorge the passengers.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, but as you speak, this one man has completely taken the Alpha Point almost by himself. He took out 2 guys with C4. Alpha Point is becoming the VS over at Argent Pass. He made a very valiant effort, but he drew 3 VS players onto Argent Pass in order to, which is exactly what I was talking about. They're gonna, if they can draw more resources to reacting than they're spending on offense, this is gonna be good for them. But he took out 2 guys with C4, almost got the heavy with his shotgun, but the heavy probably with the mesh generator there helping him out to secure that point for their victory.
Definitely 15 seconds left on that center base. We're going to be scoring some more points in the TR's favor momentarily.
Yeah, so we have about 29 minutes, 30 seconds left on the match, and are left in this half. And the TR just took control of the Granite Head reactor, making the score 10-8, still in VS favor, but getting close.
Very close. And we have about a minute left here on the Hydroponics Compound, so VS should be able to capture another point, and then also on your end, Knox, over at Argent, they should be able to score another point, barring a hard TR push. So interesting to see. It's close, but
well,
maybe it's not as close as we think.
VS can't get a point at Argent because it was just a maintain. They didn't take the base. They already owned it. But we do have some sides here bombing the base at Bitter Gorge Garrison. A Galaxy just dropped off several troops onto the A point. The Bitter Gorge Garrison is now in Vanu favor. So as soon as they secured Argent Pass, they immediately dropped troops off over at Bitter Gorge Garrison to keep the TR from pushing further. The TR did only send 1 man at Argent Pass. They killed him, took the base back, and now they're working on Bitter Gorge Garrison, which is going to give them more offensive ability. They turned that reaction into an offensive push, which is really intelligent of them.
I also have a hard push here by TR at Hydroponics Compound. There are only 5 seconds left in the cabinet, though. Oh, and they're actually flipping the point. They have stopped the cap here at Hydroponics Compound with about a second or 2 left.
It says 0. It says 0 on my map.
It is flipping back in TR's favor right now. When I saw it, it hadn't fully flipped over. Has the territory flipped over, Torx?
No, there was 3 seconds left on the timer when they stopped it.
And they saved it. Epic
my map
play.
says 0, so wow, what a really great effort by the TR there to maintain that control. They do. I see a Sunderer. I see lots of harassers, lots of infantry moving in here over at Bitter Gorge Garrison. The VS do control all 3 points right now. They have the Scythe air control. The TR having a hard time moving into this base to maintain control of it, because the Scythes just pound the hell out of the ground here as they fly. They're just flying by, spotting a target, heading it with rocket pods, flying off, not making themselves an easy target for AA.
The VS recapped the point here at Hydroponics Compound, but TR are pushing it back into their favor as well. It's a tough fight over at this point. Only 26 seconds left on it. It keeps flipping back and forth, back and forth. There's a lone Zoe Max on this point, about to get C4'd. There's a lot of back and forth, and it's really just one Max suit holding off an entire TR onslaught. He can't be able to survive that much longer.
So these sides here at Bitter Gorge and Liberators, but mostly sides right now from what I can tell, are really good at weaving their rocket pods into the points from above, over underneath the roofs, right onto the point, keeping this base VS controlled with minimal ground forces. They do have control of Alpha and Charlie Point. They're moving on to B Point right now in order to get control of that. I don't see how the TR are going to hold that. It's all VS right now here at Bitter Gorge Garrison. And if I were the TR right now, I would focus mainly on hydroponics, mainly on Aerzec, because This base is not a base you can take if you don't have air control, with these roofs providing minimal cover on the points. And seeing as VS control the air, they should just let them have this base, set up a defense at the lovely base called Slate Canyon Hold, where they can hold it without air control.
Looking here at hydroponics, the VS are mounting a furious attack on this alpha point, and they're actually flipping it right now, but there is a large TR presence here, and they're not allowing this cap to go through. So it does look like TR most likely there's still 234 left on the cap timer. Might be able to flip hydroponics back in their favor.
I saw a facility capture Granite Head reactor on my chat here. Have those points already been accounted for? Am I
Granite Head reactor
behind?
is still in TR's favor, and it has been the entire time. But I do want to bring our attention over to the Nexus Secure substation. 50 seconds left on that cap, going in TR's favor. TR have snuck in while we've been focused here on the hydroponics compound, and their epic stop with 3 seconds left, and are actually sneaking another 1-point base over in their favor. I'm going to run over there and see if there's any VS presence there at all.
There's 24 minutes 30 seconds left, or 24 minutes 36 seconds left in the match, or half, and the score is still 10-8 VS favor.
That's really
in
good
26 seconds is about to be 10-9.
In roughly 4 minutes, a little less than 4 minutes, the VS will control Bitter Gorge Garrison. And they have a whole, it looks like most of Alpha Squad is here at the base protecting it, or attempting to protect it. But with the air control, they're having a very hard time of getting even out of the spawn room, despite the fact that they are using Burster Maxes. And this is where I think they should just abandon this and focus most of their efforts on the bases that don't require air support, or where air can't dominate them so handily.
Okay, it looks like Nexus Secure Substation did go ahead and flip. That is a 10-9 score currently in VS favor.
That is correct, and it was done by only 2 TR soldiers here. They held off a quick rush and held this A point in their favor to score themselves a point and bring this much closer than we were at halftime.
Yeah. And if I believe that Granite Head, they could make a move. It looks like I see Sunderer actually moving on to Nexus Alpha. If you want to go take a look at that. It's rolling in underneath in the basement, I imagine, because there's not much area for else on the minimap for that to go into their favor. But they are still trying to defend here at Bitter Gorge Garrison. And I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, I've said it 2 times now already. They really should abandon this base. Let the VS have it, pull the resources away, focus on a point that doesn't require them to have air control. Arizek is a really good place for them to go at right now. With control of Nexus Secure Substation, they do have the ability to capture Arizek. And that base can be taken without air control because all of those points are on the inside.
The hydroponics should be flipping shortly, and we're going to have a tie game, folks.
Are we? I don't think we will. If they're maintaining control, they're not going to get points for that.
They just kept control of their own base.
Oh, they kept control. You're right. I apologize.
Still 10.
Jeez! Learn the rules, noob.
Really?
I'm just giving him trouble here, okay? But I still maintain my thought. Although completely abandon this, they are distracting a lot of the air at this base. So it's actually, and ground forces. There are plenty of VS ground forces here at Bitter Gorge Garrison, keeping them hemmed in along with the air. So the VS are really putting a lot of effort here into Bitter Gorge. I now do see minimal TR forces. I think maybe 6 men are working on holding this base off. So as long as the VS are spending more effort on the base than the TR are, they can really use that to their advantage.
Same thing over here at Arizek Satcom. We have at least one TR is harassing various points in here, flipping them over, attempting to flip them over into their favor, just to keep an entire squad of VS here and focused on this point. Very good tactics by TR.
Now that they maintained the hydroponics, like Torque said, or like you said, it was about to become the complete their control. I don't see a timer on my minimap, and what that does for them is one guy can distract a whole squad there. That squad, if he's keeping points flipped, they cannot go after hydroponics compound at all because one guy is keeping points flipped. if what you're saying is true. I'm just going on assumptions.
No, it's definitely true. It does appear that my mini-map is a little bugged, though. The A point keeps flashing, but on the main screen it's not. But I definitely have a few TR that are making little pushes into the base here. They're actually jumping all the way to the roof, trying to probe this B position to see if maybe they can flip a point. And
well, as I was talking, a squad waypoint did get moved to Erzek, so it does look like the TR are planning on making a push onto Erzek. And that being said, 15 seconds. Oh no, the TR have put a point neutral. They put B point neutral here, so it's now it's 15 seconds, right? Now, 15 seconds, and the VS will control this base. Less than that now as they're resecuring the point. So Bitter Gorge Garrison will score them 2 points, giving them a 3-point lead, I believe.
Excellent beamer kill action here. I always appreciate a good beamer kill.
Bitter Gorge Garrison did go ahead and flip. That gives 2 points to the VS, making it a 12-9 score in VS favor. We have 19 minutes and 50 seconds left in the match.
And 2 of the 3 points here at Erzek Satcom have flipped into TR's favor. And TR, very good. There was a bunch of mines set up in the basement here, but they saw them, took them out. They've got 2 Sunderers here. They're actually flipping over the 3rd point as well, as VS bring in their own Sunderer. But right now, with a little over 6 minutes to go on this cap, TR hold Erzek Satcom hub completely and are parking some bursters on the roof and dealing with some VS air right now.
And that's a very good strategy then. They're securing a base that they don't have to worry about air, and in the process sounds like they're going to try and set up and take some air out. I do see some Vanu Sunderers moving out here from the Bitter Gorge Garrison towards what it seems to be the Granite Head reactors. So they're going to try and sneak in from behind here. I haven't looked at the map. Let's take a look at the map. I don't see... Well, my map's not showing anybody because of the lovely Nexus bugs, but hey, we're getting access to Nexus. Who can complain about bugs? I don't see much TR presence here at Granite Head Reactor. I'll let you cover that. But the VS here are making a strong push there from Bitter Gorge Garrison.
Yeah, I will agree that there's very... I'm detecting 1 to 12 enemies inside Granite Head, and obviously I'm following VS, so those are all TR, but very few people there. They're actually focusing more on Erzek Satcom hub right now, and also we've got the VS stuck down at Nexus Secure Substation, making sure that they maintain that cap down there. But I will head over to center of the map here and take a look and see what the VS are doing.
I do see there are, it says 11 minutes, rough 10 minutes on Granite Head Reactor towards VS control. Slate Canyon hold, completely uncontested right now. There is almost no action on the north lane, on the top lane. The TR could send in 3 guys to Bitter Gorge Garrison, 1 on each point, all at the same time, take the base, and really pull some Vanu forces off there. If they took all 3 points at the same time, this is where I mean, like, strategy really could evolve in this game, is if they took all 3 points at the same time, they could really distract more than 3 Vanu resources to go back at Bitter Gorge Garrison.
Vanu went ahead and resecured Nexus Secure Substation to their side and flipped. That is a 13-9 score in VS favor, and we have 17 minutes and 10 seconds left in the match.
I'm at Granite Head Reactor now. VS have flipped all 3 points to their favor. There are 6 minutes left on this cap right now. There is 1 full squad of VS here dealing with 1 or 2 TR as they try to come out of the spawn room here. But for the most part, TR have abandoned Granite Head Reactor, and again, most of their efforts are being made over at Erzek Satcom hub, where the entire Vanu Air Force is. Coincidentally,
so, I'm gonna go back into my theory now, again about basically deception, is where they could send 3 guys, a Liberator with ejection seat maybe, bail out, patiently wait, capture all 3 points at the same time, sending Bitter Gorge Garrison into a 7-minute cap. If they did that, Vanu would undoubtedly look at their map, hopefully, maybe, and see that it's all 3 points are controlled, send more than 3 units to try and take the point back, pulling units off of these other points, giving them the ability to make a strong push towards Nexus Secure, or to recontrain Granite Reactor. this is something that, we might see evolve. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just being way too micro in a macro-oriented game.
Possibly. While you were discussing your micro-macro, there was a flip of the Bravo point here at Arizek in the favor of Vanu. It is actually going back to Terran Republic, right? Well, no, I'm sorry. It's flipping back and forth wildly between TR and VS. It's now firmly in VS hold, but TR still own 2 out of 3 points here at Arizek. And with a little over 10:32 left, they are in control of this one.
I'm just cringing at the ability of the TR or the Vanu to push the top lane, as we call it, to push that top lane, because it is completely and utterly quiet. I do see one Liberator. It looks like he's going to try and get some Dalton shots on these ESFs that are coming out for the TR right now. Looks like the TR are making a very strong ESF push to try and regain air control, or maybe not regain, since they honestly have never really held it, to gain air control. Top lane, completely quiet. The Vanu or the TR can make it push at either of these bases completely uncontested.
Arizek is now 2-3 in favor of Vanu, and they are working on keeping this point out of TR hands. Like I said, they own 2 out of 3 points, and it appears that they are also flipping the alpha point as well right now. So now we're about 3 minutes left for VS to completely control this point back in their favor. And I have at least a squad plus some others here as well defending Arizek Satcom Hub.
Alrighty, looks like we have about 14 minutes left in this half in the match in total, and the score is still 13-9 in VS favor.
And I mean, Derringer, this is gonna be all you, because there is absolutely nothing on the top lane. So I'm just gonna let you continue talking.
Yeah, I've moved over to Granite Head Reactor, where same deal. Their VS seem to have everything locked down. They are just keeping the TR stuck in their not their warp gate, but their spawn room, as they're trying to push their way out to take any of these points here at Granite Head Reactor.
The TR have just dropped a Galaxy onto Bitter Gorge Garrison. I'm sorry, not Granite Head Reactor. They're taking Charlie Point and Alpha Point. Nope, just C Point. But the Vanu Air, quick to react. Liberators, sides, bombing the absolute hell out of this base. And as we know, this is a base that the air can defend, because they are very good at sneaking those air projectiles into the points, as I see Zephyr and Dalton bombs hit directly onto the Charlie C point. But the TR do take it. They have maxes. They have infantry, basic infantry. They're moving over towards A point after taking C point now. An entire Alpha squad here.
It's interesting you said that as you said the Galaxy was dropping in. I could hear over the chat here Jamal screaming commands out to the air unit to get over there and eliminate the threat. So they are fast
and they
to react.
Instantly they had an instant reaction speed almost. As soon as that Galaxy got into a spot to drop every unit off, it was blown up. I don't think the TR lost any units, as I saw almost a full squad take it. But they are taking the A point now. I do see Zephyr shots flying into the point. They eliminate one infiltrator, but A point is taken. So now there's 10 minutes. The B point is being taken as well. So the TR can take this base back, but they need to set up a strong defense. They need to bring in some air support. Otherwise, these Liberators are going to prevent the TR from being able to do anything. They need to res the infiltrator, spawn up a Sunderer, or get a Sunderer in from another base. Otherwise, this is going to be a quick, meaningless effort to try and take Bitter Gorge Garrison back before the end of the round.
Back over here at Granite Head Reactor, the TR have made some pushes. They're able to take a point or two here or there. VS are quick to take them back, but what the TR are effectively doing is they're extending the cap time at this base while they force the Vanu to commit the majority of their forces. I have 3 full squads here of Vanu working on Granite Head Reactor, keeping it in their favor, and still the TR keep harassing various points, flipping them back over into their favor to really kind of grind things to a halt here.
That's good for them near the end of the match. They're doing a really good job there, I gotta say. We have 2 Liberators, 1 Scythe here at Bitter Gorge Garrison, but all 3 points are in clear TR control. They have 5.5 minutes, just about to take the base. And these Liberators can't, I mean, a Liberator can't take the base. They're landing a Liberator onto this, which base is this? I think this is his B point. They landed a Liberator, dropped an infantry unit out. He is taking the point back to slow that bit down. But we do have some TR reacting, coming up to this base to try and take it right back. This is very interesting to watch this dynamic. As like the Liberator is trying to pick up the unit, the TR... Oh, he gets him with C4! Absolutely incredibly smart play there. The light assault couldn't kill the heavy as he was getting into the Liberator. Instead, he chooses to fly over, drop C4 on the Liberator, detonate it. They take out a Liberator with a light assault. What a great trade there for the TR to really help secure the Bitter Gorge garrison for them and keep it at a 5-minute cap.
30 seconds left here at Granite Head Reactor, and TR keep making slight pushes on points, trying to flip anything, but I think they're happy stymieing the entire VS army here to force them to spend extra resources to cap this point. Meanwhile, while some of their other points, specifically Arizek Satcom, are slowly ticking down in TR's favor, but still, VS are going to get 2 points out of Granite Head Reactor in 10 seconds.
I believe so. I think I saw chat asking who took out that Liberator. If that's who he was. Commando making a commando move, taking out that Liberator with C4 and securing the B point at Bitter Gorge Garrison.
All right, it looks like VS went ahead and flipped the Granite Head Reactor. That means it's 15-9 in VS favor, with 9 minutes 15 seconds left to go.
And now it'll be interesting to see where this entire VS army descends on next. Like I said...
Oh, it has descended on Bitter Gorge Garrison. I have many scythes, many Liberators just laying absolute hell onto this base. The TR do still control it, but I wouldn't expect people to bail out of those Liberators, the gunners, once they feel that it's secured to try and take these points. The VS have been very good about that, bombing the absolute crap out of a base, then bailing out and capturing the point. It's something that I really like what they're doing.
They've also taken the opportunity to completely flip Arizek Satcom Hub in their favor as well. VS completely control it. I'm sorry, the TR actually just flipped the Bravo point here, so VS control 2 of the 3 points and are moving more forces in to make sure that they control this. So they have effectively captured the center base, also stopped the cap here at Arizek Satcom, plus all the action that's going on in your point as well.
Well, there's Vanu have clear air control of this base, but they have done nothing to resecure the points. It is all TR still on the points. As I say that, I'm lying. A scythe has landed on the roof of the B point, taken... Look at this. He killed the guys with his bombs, took B point. He's a light assault, then jumped back up onto the roof, got into his scythe, and is bombing the crap out of the point again. This is another guy's doing it to C point right now, landing on the roof, jumping out, taking the point, and now he's getting back into his scythe as a light assault. The Vibe have complete control of this base now. Another scythe has landed on A point, taking the point. I imagine he'll be hopping back in his scythe, and there he is. He's taking off now, despite debris flipping him over, and oh, no, he recovered. He's fine.
As we said before, we got to give a lot of props to Great White Whales. They are executing some beautiful air maneuvers right now, showing their mastery over air.
They are having trouble. The TR are quickly taking these points back after the scythes take off. But what a distraction! What a way to slow down the cap time. It's brilliant. One guy lands, takes the points, flies back off. It's wonderful gameplay, and it's only one unit. Now a whole squad is on the C point, trying to retake it. But I see tons of skulls. The Vanu are holding this point, holding the TR off from pushing back to Alpha, pushing back to B point.
And looking on my side, while that's going on, VS have moved into the hydroponics compound and have locked this down with an entire squad, followed by plenty of air support, making sure that no TR are getting anywhere near the hydroponics compound.
I mean, this is just... It's a different game the Vanu are playing right now from what I'm seeing. The TR, while being much more organized this match than this half than the one before, they're not doing... Excuse me, my goodness. They're not doing the little things. And this is something where one guy can send. They did a really good job at the beginning by getting one guy to Argent Pass, but they didn't keep that up. They could have kept that up, and it really has. It's really hurt them. Now they have one squad, an entire squad on C point, but they can't push out of that building. They're trapped into this building on C point, while the base slowly turns back to Vanu favor. They can't take B point or A point. The Vanu have ground forces. They have air control. And we're really seeing how air control plays into effect in a large-scale game like this, where they can move from territory to territory quickly, decimating anything on the ground that's useful for the other team.
I'm watching, as you're talking, I'm watching the air come flying in and skim the ground, taking out TR soldiers with their wings. That is how epic the Great White Whale's Air Force really is. I'm getting a good push. That being said, I'm getting a good push at hydroponics from the spawn room by TR. They're really rushing the alpha point here, working to dislodge the VS to make sure that they do not get another point from this base. There's a very good rush going on here right now in a battle between the two sides here at this point.
Well, it sounds like the Vanu are almost playing with them if they're scraping them with those scythe wings.
They are
at this
definitely
point,
scraping.
At this point, I would say it's virtually impossible for the TR to win the half. The best they can do is draw the score closer, because the Vanu have control of the map. The air has really been monumental in this particular match.
TR have taken back the alpha point at hydroponics, effectively stopping the cap by the Vanu, but Vanu still have a Sunderer outside of hydroponics compound, and they are bringing forces back in, so they are not giving up here at hydroponics. Speaking of hydroponics, have we all seen this nice plant that is located in the lower level of hydroponics? It is the most Vanu plant I have ever seen. It is purple, it is tentacled, it is excellent. The designer of this plant I give 2 thumbs up to. Very good work.
Of course, the plant is at hydroponics.
Yeah, well, obviously, but
if you go over towards the Nexus Secure substation, they just have technology-style pillars of glowingness, if I remember correctly. No plants.
Technological pillars of glowingness? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, that's what I'm calling them.
Glowingness. That's
glowingness.
The word you used.
Yeah, glowingness. It's a new word I just created. Seeing as I help with a podcast, I am allowed to make up words on the fly.
Glowingness. That's a good one. We're going to have to add that one to Webster's dictionary right next to twerking.
Well, the Vanu have completely secured Bitter Gorge Garrison. They are making a strong push onto Slate Canyon Hold. I see the TR hunkering down in the A point at Slate Canyon Hold, trying to deny the VS more points before this ends. But there is a Sunderer moving in, dropping infantry off, bombs flying in from the sky. The VS have complete and utter control of this round, of this half, of this game. I feel like I'm calling it early, but we're once again seeing a VS victory here.
I would tend to agree with you, seeing what we've seen. I mean, right now, VS is up 15-9. There's 2 minutes and 29 seconds left in this round. Obviously, last I'm looking at
it's
a
impossible.
Slight delay.
No base can be flipped in that time. So
yeah, it's definitely a VS victory. But the question is, will the score stand 15-9, or will VS chalk up some more points?
Well, I don't think even they can take a base now. Which this is when I said at the beginning of the match, when Adam was describing our point cap rules, I said there's major flaws. Please don't judge us. I didn't want to say what those flaws were, but this is kind of the flaw. The TR
this is not a flaw. If somebody outplays the other team to a certain point, no matter what it is, you're going to get over the point where you can recover. Doesn't matter what the point system is.
This is true. But say this had been a 15-14 match or something. The TR would have literally zero ability for these last couple of minutes to gain that point that they need. And while the VS in this particular match have dominated them, the VS have won outright. If it were closer, it would be more of a noticeable flaw, considering that no base can be flipped in the amount of time left in the match. But seeing as the VS have completely controlled this, I don't think anyone can argue that the flaw it really matters. I'd say our rule set has been pretty fair.
I agree. I think it's been very fair. I think the MVP of the match, the Great White Whale's air, is really the deciding factor.
It really is, and that this stresses the importance of air. Air is huge.
35 seconds left.
I agree. It does really stress the importance of air, and
especially
it
in
also
macro gameplay where you're not in one lane.
It stresses the ability of the defending force to also take out enemy air, and there's really not much of an answer to it, unfortunately, because we've seen the whales controlling the air the entire match.
Well, this begs the question, everyone was saying, oh, Vanu is winning all of them because of Zoe. That was the big theme we saw.
That's
but
not
now,
today's theme.
But Liberators, everyone has Liberators. They're all the same. Now,
right,
are we going to start
over.
seeing... Oh, so the Vanu have won, 15-9. But now we're seeing Liberators versus Mosquitoes. Are we also saying Mosquitoes are better than or worse than Liberators? I don't want to say that. I feel like AA has been very normalized into a very fair balance.
All right,
based
guys,
on the patch notes.
For people that are watching, that's the end of the second round. That's the end of the match in general for tonight's show. The score at the end of the game or match is 15-9 in VS favor. So the Great White Whales and No Nonsense Gamers are victorious this evening. We'll wait for get our outfit leads back on here, and we'll talk with them a little bit. But while they're getting done talking to their troops and getting everything hammered out there, let's talk to Shock, Mr. ShockFC from Future Crew. What's going on, man?
Oh, not a whole lot. It was fun to watch that second half.
Yeah, it was a little close there for a while. What'd you think of that second half?
Well, it was close for a while. The TR had really good control early on. Like it was good to see. They had good movement. They were using low amounts of resources. I mean, they just had map control. Like everything was working well. They had good denial, but I'm not sure what happened. I think a lot of it had to do with those Liberators and that air, but there was a lot of skill play. There was a lot of harassment. There was a lot of those little things from the VS that were demoralizing the TR. And I mean, the mental game plays a big thing. It plays a big role in matches like this. I mean, if you're taken out of it mentally, it's all over. And I think that's kind of what happened for the TR.
You think the Liberators kind of demoralized the TR forces in the second half?
Yeah, and it's tough. And the thing is, I was kind of thinking to myself in my head, I'm like, I feel like I would have actually made people grab scythes and just crash into the Liberators to get rid of them. I mean, the ESF is a lower cost than a Lib resource-wise. Just doing something, thinking out of the box like that. Squad deploy, try to hit those Liberators, like just get rid of them in any way possible.
Squad deploy was broken and spawn beacons were broken too, so it was really hard for us to mobilize and be able to do tactics like that. But I did tell the guys, hey, go on out and kamikaze into a Lib. But to their credit, to Great White Whales, you guys have excellent Liberator pilots and made it extremely hard for us. But I feel if we would have had a little bit more options with redeployment, it may have been a bit of a different scenario against all that Liberator suppression.
I mean, to hop on what Tauron's saying, what basically right now in the current form, when we have such an air dominant behavior already, and then we don't even have the option for a 5 second to get a squad beacon down to get a redeploy to try and save a base. It literally means being able to lock down pretty much the whole map with that air is huge. Right now, as well, with the lattice being down and not being able to spawn at the back bases, it literally means if they can control the air, they can control basically all spawns on the map. Yeah. And it's a resource pull every single time to get back out there. And that's sort of what was happening. So, their air guys showed up, and they showed up in numbers and showed up with skill. And that I think is probably the biggest thing that they did there.
Yeah, and I think we all saw the air was a very decisive factor in today's match, and I don't think you're going to hear an argument out of any of us.
Well, that's a good point. Like, seeing as BBR10 on the PTS, it's player test server. It's not a public test server. I don't know what the P is for. One or the other, but squad beacons would make a big difference in that regard, I believe.
Emma, you should, if you have a moment, bring up my cam. There's about to be a victory crash going on from the VS Warp Gate.
Perfect test
And here
server,
they go.
Blake says, perfect test server.
Here they go. They are on their way out of the Warp Gate. There's a lot of them. Oh my goodness.
So, what did you think about that second half there, Luberza, other than the air dominance factor?
Oh gosh, there were so many awesome things going on. Something that I saw, like there were a few things that I saw the VS doing and a few things that I saw the TR doing, and then there's some questions I have. So, like, I saw the VS holding points by, like, just putting proxy mines all over the points and then, like, going off and holding a choke point, which I thought was really cool. I didn't see a lot of that happening in past games. So I thought that was neat. I also saw them using a lot of engineer turrets, so like keeping their engineers set up in different areas with turrets holding those choke points. I saw a lot of that going on. Actually, I saw VS using more engineers, probably due to the fact that they were also utilizing their vehicles quite well, as far as just hopping into their air vehicles often. And they were using more engineers and a combination of other things, whereas I saw the TR using a lot of medics, and I was wondering, like, what was their strategy going into that, and why were they utilizing so many medics over, you know, maybe some of the other classes that they could have been using.
So, what do you? What's kind of your answer to that, Tauron and Lepelos?
I mean, I can't account for all the squad's composition, but I know for my Alpha squad, to counter the air as best we could, we try to utilize strikers and a couple lightnings with skyguards. I think maybe the guys are just getting used to all these Liberator bombs and just reviving each other as best they can with the mayhem. Just like, maybe lost composure a little bit. I'm not exactly sure how to answer that. Lep, if you have a.
Yeah, I mean the other thought about it is this. You know, if the Sunders are going down really quickly with 2 air, really the only chance to take a base or even defend a base really is to remain up as a group, and that ultimately means having enough medics. I mean, when we say a lot of medics, my squad was probably 3 medics to 4 in our group. That's just the way that we were operating. I'm sure at Granite Head, where there was largely less airplay for much more of the map, although it did come into play there definitely at one point in time, from my understanding. That lends itself a little bit better to having medics because you're not dealing with those types of vehicles.
And you could stay indoors with the medics. In case the Liberators, like 3 Liberators bombing you, you can stay inside the building. And if you do get clipped through the window, have medics to revive, because they have to come out of their Liberators to get these points. And there was a I think 5 minutes straight where there was like 4 or 5 Liberators just over Granite Head, and everybody was like inside the building. Nobody was outside trying to revive each other. And we had nothing to counter the Libs. We had no resources left.
Yeah, and actually, could I just speak on that point, if you guys are letting me have another minute?
Sure, go ahead.
So, I mean, Tyler, you were just going to say that you struck it right on the head there, which is every resource or everything to deal with air is essentially another resource pool other than lock-on missiles. And obviously, we're playing like the better people here. Lock-on missiles are essentially not going to be any effective way of dealing with air, right? So that means every time that you have to pull a Skyguard or an AA Max, you're pulling off significant resources to try and deal with probably a less resource pool on the air. And they just have the ability to keep out. So as soon as you start to lose that air dominance, it's basically a slippery slope.
Skull shot missiles, I want them.
Yeah, that air domination was crazy. And I mean, we can even see that with the observer cam, like just how much more like we can see on the battlefield. We can see where things are coming from and scout them for like our other teammates that, you know, maybe couldn't see it because they're inside of a building.
Yeah, that's definitely, we had poor intel on our side for sure because of the lack of air being able to call targets.
So NNG and Jamal, what did you guys think about that second half and how it played out?
Well, I think that we did a fucking awesome job. Excuse my French, so to say. I'm really proud of NNG. I'm really proud of the Whales. They did exactly what I brought them on to do, and I feel that NNG was capable of kind of doing our half of the job. You know, they took care of the air, we'll take care of the ground. We tried to stay in a small cohesive groups, and like the president pointed out, kind of hold choke points rather than focus on the points themselves and make sure that they actually had a total denial to the area. Another key point that we tried to make was we tried to trick them into thinking we were going certain ways and sometimes didn't. Like right at the beginning of the second round, we made them think we wanted Granite Head very right in the center pretty intensely, but then we rather backed off and we kind of went around, and I think that's what gave us a pretty big advantage, is they kind of threw them off a little bit. But you know, some good tactics and some excellent players is what kind of led us to victory.
Cool. So Dreadnought there with Great White Whales. I know all of us have been kind of talking about air back continuously throughout this post game. You guys did a pretty good job, I have to say. What'd you think about how Great White Whales played in the second half?
I think we played well throughout the entire match. I think we've got a lot of things to improve on. We had a lot of guys colliding and a lot of miscommunications on altitudes, because we try to run things where we're not running at the same altitude so people don't hit each other. But we had a lot of those problems and things we need to correct. And we had a good time. The hard part about running an outfit from the air is you're just told, go here, do work, go here, do work. And it's really hard to get a gauge of what's going on. We really enjoy flying, but it's very difficult to understand what's going on the ground. And I really won't fully understand the fight until I watch the stream and I watch some of the videos afterwards. So a lot of it is really a blur for me because we're so focused on kill this guy, kill Sunderer. So it's, for me, running the air does get kind of tough, but it's what we like to do, and it's a lot of fun. These guys put up a great fight, so they were no slouch in any capacity in the air or on the ground. So we had a lot of fun.
Alrighty. Well, I thank you all for being on here tonight. Let's get a quick chance for you guys to talk about your outfits and your information on where to get you guys if somebody wants to join you. Let's start off with TXR.
Yeah, I just want to say first off the bat, thank you so much for hosting this, guys. I mean, despite us losing, we had a really fun time. And I mean, going back to the drawing board and persevering through the loss and seeing what we can do better is always a good thing. So we're going to keep our heads held up high and regroup. But I just want to say, you guys putting the time, making the show, this broadcast so smooth, it's just awesome. So we would love to have another opportunity to prove ourselves once more, but you can reach us at totalrecoiloutfit.com. My Twitter is TXR_Talron. And yeah, thank you guys.
Awesome. Okay, and let's hear from MERC.
All right. Well, let me also thank TXR for bringing us in this, and of course, both our opponents. You guys put up a great fight there. Mercenaries, you know, we're continuing to push forward here. We're going to be pushing the Terran Alliance cause, which is sort of team play across outfits, which we were trying to do tonight. You can get in contact with us at theterranalliance.com, or of course you can contact me with regards to my outfit at Twitter at Lepelos, and hope to hear from you guys.
Okay, let's hear from NNG.
Hey guys, so you can go ahead and check out our website, www.nononsensegamers.com, and then if you really enjoyed how we play, you can submit an application. It's pretty straightforward. Then you go through like a 1-week trial, and then after that you're voted in by the members. So if you don't feel like joining up with the outfit, but you just kind of like watching us, you can check out our stream. That's www.twitch.tv/jmaw. Also, if you're interested, we do scrim other outfits. So if you're a leader of a opposing outfit from maybe a different server or a different faction, we're more than happy to do scrims. So you can go ahead and contact us on my website, at the No Nonsense website, or you can contact me in game. Just send me a poke or tell JMaw. That's usually a good way to get a hold of me. I'm in game a lot.
Alrighty, and let's hear last but not least from the Great White Whales and Dreadnought.
That's all right. I can be the least. I don't mind. So we are the Great White Whales. Pretty much an all Liberator and Scythe outfit on the Matherson server. Play for the Vanu. If you want to get a hold of us, just greatwhitewhales.com and at Dreadnought VS on Twitter. That's NAUT on Dreadnought. And look us up. You know, we're not really actively scrimming, doing anything like that, but we don't feel like we can do that on our own. So this opportunity tonight was awesome to join up with NNG and play against the awesome guys from MERC and TXR. And just want to say thanks to Hamanox, Torx, Derringer, LaPerza, everybody involved. And there was a lot of people in the back end that I don't know about. But thanks, everybody. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to doing it again.
Glad you guys had a good time. Well, we'll talk to you guys later on, and we're gonna get a quick exit from Shock. Shock, tell us about yourself again real quick, and actually, you know what? 1 second. I want to ask you guys from the outfits. You guys all had a good time. Are you looking forward to doing it again in the future?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
100%.
Also, having the alliances, 2 outfits partaking in it is quite fun as well. So
Yeah.
that was fun.
I think that adds a challenge, being that you've got to work with 2 outfits together via just otherwise just having one outfit. You can know each other very well. Putting the 2 outfits together, I think, made it more fun for us because it was more of a challenge.
Absolutely, and I think if you in the future, if you can do more 48v48s with 4 outfits, it would be more interesting than maybe getting these giant outfits with say over 1,000 players to go against each other. I mean, I think the dynamic would be just much more interesting to watch. And I just wanted to say thanks for having us on again. I didn't get to say it before.
Oh, anytime. Well, for those of you that have not had a chance to play Community Clash, we're welcome to anybody who wants to play. If you want to get another outfit and play with you, we'd love to do 48-48, or hell, we'll try to do bigger if we can. But for the moment, we're doing the best we can with the numbers we get. If you want to sign up, there's a sign-up form on PlanetSide-universe.com. If you want to check that out and fill out the form, that is where we will be able to team you up. We'll reach out to you in any way that you give us to on that form. So thanks again for all the outfits, MERC, TXR, Great White Whales, and NNG for being here tonight. And we will talk to you guys later. All right, Shock, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and Future Crew again real quick. Thanks for the breakdown of the halftime and post-show, and thank you for coming on.
Yeah, instead of really talking about my outfit, because I think this needs to be more about kind of the 4 outfits that competed, I just want to say that I've been on Community Clash twice, once as a player, once as a guest. I think you guys actually do a fantastic job of setting up, of working hard and getting this going. This is a great production. I got to listen in on TeamSpeak for about an hour before this happened. You guys were just setting up everything, making sure everything was going right. And for everybody on the stream, just get involved with the competitive community. That's the only way it's going to really take off. Just get involved, watch things, go to planetside.cc, get involved in discussions, do all that kind of stuff. And we would just love to see more community clashes and more things from the community.
Absolutely. That's exactly what we're about. It's good. I'm glad you liked it, man. Trying to think, you were talking about special guests. If somebody wants from another outfit wants to come on and and talk about their piece about something they're in the community, or just talk about Community Clash while you're on here, and you want to kind of speak about what's going on in the matches, and you feel like you have some good input to have, just hit me up, Torx, or you can hit us up at PS2 Comclash, or one of the 100 different ways I'm sure you've seen in either the chat or the YouTube vid you're watching. There's no lack of finding ways to contact us. So, with that being said, thank you, Shock, for coming on. We appreciate it. You had some good breakdowns in halftime and post show, and it was a lot of fun listening to you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. I enjoyed it.
That being said, I want to give a quick thank you to those people that they talked about earlier that were behind the scenes, that don't get a chance. You don't hear them on here, but contribute greatly to the show and post-analyzation. Oh, it's not even a word. Post-analyzing.
I made up a word. It's okay.
Okay, analyzation. I don't think that's a word. Anyways, we have. Wow, it's blanked out. Kid Riot from PlanetSide.cc, and he plays with Nuck now, I think, as well. So he does some good breakdowns. He writes for the Matini. You can hear him a lot. We have Fox from Azure Twilight. He does. So you saw those little scoreboards and the timers and everything else, and the intro kind of transfer assets and all that. Fox did all that. He does great professional work. So I want to say thank you to Fox. Shit, Pete, you saw that video on the front where T-Ray punched out Higby basically at the end. Yeah, that's Shit, Pete. Yeah, he enjoys his cartoons and did a lot of work for us as well. Antithesis made a huge contribution to our production assets and our production quality period. He did great work with us and helped us out a lot with what's going on. So say thank you to him. He's also from Azure Twilight. And that going without saying, the people that are already here, we have Jenny Boo, which you haven't heard much from the show. He's in the chat room. She's in the chat room. And she talked to you guys throughout the show. Are you there, Jenny?
I'm here. I was gonna smack you. I was shaking my head when you said he, but
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
I was
Fail.
thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I'm in the post-show high. Apparently,
Hi, everyone.
Never mind. Yeah.
He didn't forget me this week.
Thank you, Jenny, for coming on and talking with the chat room and all the fine people that are there that I'm seeing scrolling up right now. And we have Hamma. None of this would be possible. He's doing all the production. None of this would be possible without Hamma. He's doing all the production, all the back end stuff. He hosts PlanetSide Universe. This is it's just much about him seeing the rest of this. So thanks, Hamma.
Yeah, anytime. I actually sacrificed a goat tonight to make this successful. I just want to let everybody know that. That's kind of what I do. I sacrifice animals, and if I don't sacrifice one big enough, then the stream fails at the beginning. So that's why.
What do you mean? Oh no, they're having braised goat for lunch tomorrow.
The rats weren't cutting it.
No, they weren't cutting it. And you said that there's so many ways to get in touch with us. We are not on Pinterest yet, but we better get on that immediately.
We can let Knox do that.
Or something like that.
Pinterest.
Yeah. Alrighty, and then you heard our jovial friend there, Knox. He's one of the casters out here tonight. Thank you for being on top of things tonight, Knox.
Oh, you're welcome. I love doing this. It's a wonderful thing. I love hearing everyone be happy with it. So I thank you all for the compliments. I thank everyone for showing up to watch. I thank everyone for showing up to play. Awesome.
Derringer, our other caster, is also here. He is the not long-winded, I should say, large vocabulary gentleman that uses these interesting words.
I'm quite loquacious.
Oh,
Get the fuck out of here.
But I was going to say, much like Higby said during our ReachCast interview, this is hard.
Wow, you nailed that perfectly.
It was pretty good.
I wanted to say to you guys, happy anniversary for ReachCast. That your year just passed, did it not?
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, episode 52 was Tuesday, guys. Released it Tuesday. Recorded it Monday night.
Correct.
But yeah, add a year.
Awesome cast. Those guys do a great job. I listen to it every week. It's what I do my weekly reports to.
I hope you enjoyed the outtakes I put in just for you, Maggie.
This one, I haven't watched this one because remember I listen to it on Thursdays when I do my weekly report.
Oh, well, get ready
so
tomorrow.
I'm missing out on it yet.
You're ready.
Well,
There's some good stuff in there.
You just heard her voice, but Luperza, or otherwise known as our female Wizard Vaz from SOE, she's extremely helpful. You heard her during the halftime as well. She makes this stuff possible. She got us Nexus. She was prepping the continent for us ahead of time. So thank you, Luperza, and everything you've done for this.
You guys do most of the work, so thank you.
Do what we can. All right. With that being said, I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. Again, guys, if you're just kind of tuning in this, which I hope this is not, you're starting to tune into this, but this Community Clash, where we put outfits against each other.
8 Central Time.
8 Central Time is the starting for each week. 8 CST is the start time. Normally around a 2-hour show. We're 10:45 right now. We ran a little bit long, but it's always good to hear from the outfits post. If you want to participate, go to PlanetSide-Universe.com. The form is there. If you click on Community Clash, the rules are also there for each week. We strive to make the show better week by week, and we scream at each other, which Knox can attest to. I'm sure Maloran can too. And we do everything.
It gets heated. The rules debate gets heated.
Yes, each week the rules debate does get heated, and in that vein of discussion, we love hearing feedback. Like I said, we're big boys. We can take a couple punches to the lip for mistakes we make, which we're not perfect. We know that. So we have. There's multiple ways to get back to us. You can get back to us on PlanetSide-Universe.com. We always have a forum thread each week about what we screwed up that week during the Community Clash, on Reddit, on Twitter, on wherever you want to hit us up. We can take your feedback, and it only helps make the show better. So we appreciate it. Everyone out there watching, I hope you had a good time. And that's it for this evening's show. Have a good night, all.